All right, the button has been pressed. I see a green light on YouTube.
It is green. Drop is clean.
It says we are live. I'm waiting for the picture to show up.
Okay, the picture showed up on YouTube.
I see the picture. All right, we're going to cue the intro. Ready or not, episode 104 is going to happen in 3 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Nick Marota.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hi, this is Dale Lear, designer of TRS-80 Color Baseball, and you're listening to CoCoTALK.
CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world, keeping the Tandy flame alive. We may be mocked, but we'll never stop, cause CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world.
This is CoCoTALK, the world's leading live talk show featuring the Tandy color computer. It's time to drop your socks and grab your real-time clocks, and let's rock.
CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world, keeping the Tandy flame alive. We may be mocked, but we'll never stop, cause CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world.
All right, everybody, we're here and we are live. Welcome to CoCoTALK episode 104. It's just like old times again. It's almost like I don't know what, but here I am. I'm streaming the show. I'm hosting the show. It's almost like I did this, I don't know, almost 200 times in the past, give or take. But we're doing it again. We've had lots of guest help along the way between our broadcasters and streamers and hosts and co-hosts, and it's a regular old show at our original time, and we are here, and we've got a glorious panel of all kinds of people here. So we're going to start at the bottom of the world and say hello to the Thunder from down under, Mr. Nicholas Marentes. Good day to you, sir.
Good day, everyone. Yep. Ready for another show, another train wreck.
And we're glad to have you. And to the left of Nick Marentes, blowing smoke out of his you-know-what, it is the chubby chaser, or whatever's going on there. I got a tornado. Something's going on there. Looks like a giant cotton candy. It's Grant Leedy. What's going on, Grant?
Hey, what's up, Stevie? Did you just call me a chubby chaser?
A chubby chaser, yes, something like that.
Oh, my gosh.
But he's here. Greg is here. Ratings should go through the roof. Whenever Grant's on the show, we get stellar ratings. To Grant's left, we have from Strongware, maker of fine products, hardware, software, 3D printed, you name it. John Strong, welcome back to the program, John.
Howdy.
Thank you for being here, sir. We're going to continue this counterclockwise thing here. Above John, we've got our resident Apple guy and the guy who's working on the new Rainbow magazine, bringing sexy back. Mark D. Overholzer's in the house. Hey, Mark.
Hey there. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, you're too kind, and thank you.
All right. And above Mark, we have a guy who's got some things in his garage. And he likes Tandy products. His name is Ron Delvo. Hello, Ron.
Hey, hello, everybody. How you doing?
Doing good.
Doing good.
As we continue around the room here, next to Ron Delvo, but the guy who broadcast the stream for us last week, one of our backup broadcast engineers, an all-around nice guy, Mark Bosley's with us. Hello, Mark.
Hello, everybody.
All right. Mark. In his basement, or I'm not sure if that's a dungeon or a cellar or what's going on here, but Brian the Music Man, the Shoe, is with us. Hello, Brian.
Hey, how's everything going? Looks like I left the Munchkins out today.
Yeah, you need
it
to
looks
lower
like a side wing of Ron's garage. Huh?
Yeah, lower the intake on the helium.
How's that? I'm just messing around with my mixer and that, and just having a little bit of fun.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. The Chipmunks are with us. Terry Steggy is with us. Terry, how are you?
Guys, how's it going?
Doing good, doing good. We're going to get you set up real soon, too. We have with us, this guy's got more credentials than a guy at the United Nations, but as seen at PenFest 99 and 2000, Hambench and CorksCon, CoCoFEST, you name it, he's been there. I believe he was at a Hardee's not too long ago, ordering a number 4 supersized. Jason the Coco Man Reichert is with us. Hello, Jason.
Hello, hello, and CoCoTALK, now with 30% more Nick Marotta.
That's right. Speaking of Nick Marotta, the man whose name is so nice, we must say it thrice. It's Nick Marotta, Nick Marotta, Nick Marotta.
Hello, hello. I am so happy to have the same old content at the same old time.
Old is the key word there. And at the time being, he is last, but certainly not least. Second Canadian in a row from the Great White North. Oh, Canada. Curtis Boyle. Welcome, Curtis.
Hello, everyone. I think I am the oldest Canadian on the show today, so that kind of qualifies.
I wait for Bill Noble to show up. So
yeah, Bill outdo me by a couple of years.
All right, we're back. We're here. We are ready to party. We've got people in the live chat with us right now. We've got Mark B was out there, Curtis Boyle was out there, Mark Overholzer. So basically the panel was chatting amongst themselves before we went live. But anybody else who's out there, say hello so we can know that you are watching. We've got a great show in store for you for the first time ever. And we got things to do.
Oversell it, Steve.
Yeah, Jim Brain is here like the last remaining day-old donut, so dry it could double as building material. It's CoCoTALK. Yes, Jim Brain, our resident troll.
Know we're improving in his eyes.
So we're here.
So we have the coffee puck.
Yes. We have some segments to do today. We've got lots of news to cover. We've got a thing to give away today. This is going to be a first time ever I've decided to give away. Matchy is here. Hey, Matchy. So things are going to happen. Before we get started with the show, do we have any updates? Anybody, anything new? Acquisitions, project updates, anything to tell us about? Show and tell time? Anyone?
Oh, I have a new acquisition.
All right, Jason the Coco Man.
Well, it's new to me. Well, it is new, but I got a hold of Ed Snyder there, and I got myself a MCX 128.
Okay.
And so I can actually run some of the Jim Gary stuff. I'm going to get a case for it at CoCoFEST, and but I do want to warn everyone that this is only compatible with a genuine MC10 from Radio Shack. It will not work with the aftermarket replacement. It doesn't plug in. I've tried.
And I was going to ask you, Jason, does it screw up the holding up of an open window in any way, shape, or form, or is it window compatible?
I think I'm going to have to wait until I get the case, because right now it's just a circuit board. I don't want any ESD damage. It might get stuck.
Okay, or it might get damaged by the elements outside, like rain.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, true. Okay, I understand.
A friendly reminder: most of you have one of those. So
yeah, I'm personal friends with the guy who makes 3D printed cases for that product right there, and I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that if you're willing to pay twice the price, you could get one and get a second one free. So
I've already contacted that fella and made arrangements to.
Okay, there you go.
Like, you're gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. We'll just go then. But yeah, I'm bringing the MC10.
Okay.
And the MCX 128 in here, and I'll have some MC10 things going on here at my booth just to be sure that there's someone there with the MC10, since Ron will not be with us this year.
Yeah, you kind of make me feel like Charlie Brown, aren't you?
Oh, did you get that drawing?
I printed one up.
Oh wow, yeah, that looks really good. That looks good. I believe Terry was raising his hand. Terry, you have something to share with us today?
Yeah, I got some acquisitions.
Were you done, Jason? I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Terry.
I got not truly Coco related, but I thought they were kind of cool. They're IBM magnetic discs. They were basically used. Go the right way. They're just basically like 3.5-inch floppies, only they're the disc. You just put them in a tray.
Okay.
I thought that was kind of cool.
It's neat. I've never heard of those before.
So IBM's specializing in magnetic floppies where everybody else had used the old stone and chisel floppies, I take it.
I got a sealed copy of
Telengard. That's what Paul Shoemaker's game is based on, right? Dungeon Crawl?
Is that the Coco version of Telengard or a different one?
That's just the model. Was it Model 1? But I did get my childhood favorite, Voyager 1. It is the Coco version.
Oh, cool.
And
that
it's
one's on my website, too.
awful graphics. But
wow. Looks like you could give Dungeon Crawl a run for his money there with that. So
last one is a Coco lookalike. It's called the Videotex.
Oh, I want one of those. I was thinking to myself, what would I go crazy for at the auction? That would be one of them. Yeah, where did you get that on eBay?
I did, yeah.
That was the precursor to the Coco.
Yeah.
Yep.
Coco was built off of that.
I've passed up so many of those over the years. Not like, what is this? Like at Hamfest and whatnot, like 20 years ago. I'm like, I don't want that. That's. No, I wish I would have bought a few.
If it's a precursor, what color is the cursor?
Bolty.
Question.
Plaid.
That's
Which
almost
language?
as bad as a joke I told before the show.
That was part of the Project Green Thumb.
But you know, if those came before the Coco, why does it have all those cutouts that are?
Yeah, the ROM pack cartridge. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that. It looked like it was.
It's like they designed the Coco
similar to the.
I think they had the Coco in mind at the time too. I think they were like, because that was part of the Motorola reference design.
Mhm.
This one had the modem and stuff built in, so I think they were kind of designing both at once. But Videotex got released first.
Is that why did Tandy do that?
Well, cost obviously.
Did Tandy do that?
Short answer, because it was cheap. Next segment.
That's pretty well the answer. Why did Tandy do that?
Spoiler alert. That's a nice haul. Do you mind telling us what you paid for that video text?
The video text, I got it for $240.
Okay. It is a little steep when you think about it, when it's really not even a Coco, and
It's a
you
dumb
can get
terminal,
it.
basically.
Because they're uncommon, I would probably pay that much in auction at CoCoFEST, and I would probably get outbid. They are uncommon, and it's definitely it's closer to a Coco than the MC10 is, put it that way. So
it actually filled a hole I have in my collection, and I also got a what was it? Tandy Data Products 100.
Yeah.
That one I'm actually retro brighting right now, so I didn't want to show that yet, but
okay.
So that actually filled the hole of everything except for there's actually of these video texts there was a blue version.
Oh.
It was an ag.
Yeah, that was even before Videotex, wasn't it?
Yeah,
was
that was the ag one. Yeah, those are even less common.
Those are even more expensive.
Yeah, I got to keep an eye open for those.
Anyway, that's all I had.
Okay, cool. Anyone else? Show and tell time?
I'd just like to say that the micro color computer is actually a color computer.
You're talking about the MC10?
Yes.
It is.
Your statement is incorrect.
That it's
closer than a.
Well, I mean, as far as the...
It actually says it's a color computer.
Yes,
the gray one does not.
Okay. But
there's a lot of common hardware, though.
Yeah, I mean, the keyboard, the case, the same processor, same, so it is, I mean, component-wise, it's closer to a Coco than...
it's the ROMs mainly that are different in this.
Yeah. But yeah, the MC10 is still a color computer. It's just a smaller one. So it's got smaller colors on it. So the Coco's got the full-size colors. The MC10's got the micro colors in it. So you got to look a little harder to see them.
Don't forget the CPU has a smaller number, too.
Yeah. It's an itty-bitty one.
6808. No.
And it has less ports.
There's less ports, yeah. John Strong, anything new and exciting with you, or are you saving stuff for the fest, or anything you can divulge or share between now and then?
Oh, behind on getting everything done. I have a commercial client that I do custom software for, and he's redoing his way he's doing his business. So he's been kept me pretty busy.
Okay.
I did do a little bit of craziness, MC10 related. I designed the top piece for a test, and then checked out the size. It was actually bigger than it'll fit on my printer, even with my extension on my printer. So it's like, I extended a bit. I thought I had a little bit more room than that, but when I went to actually print it, it was hitting the edges, so it wouldn't print. So that was going to be one of my surprises for the fest. I mean, you guys just give my Halo MC10 this, complex, and so I thought maybe I need a new set of clothes to make it look good.
Yeah, if you could print one in red and make it look like the Alice computer, that would be kind of cool.
Oh yeah, it's mine is just a little bit too small, and I'd have to cut it up and extra pieces. It's not. That's going to happen right now. It may happen in the future. Actually, looking at buying another printer, but I've held off on that because we're looking for a house to move to, and I'll have room to get the size of printer I actually want.
You need to upgrade your living space to accommodate your printers. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, my wife might put it that way.
Honey, I need another printer. We need a bigger house.
Well, we've been needing to move out of this apartment, so we've been looking. And I would like to have something that would print at least a 15-inch. So you got that makes it like a 400 millimeter square size on it. And I'd love a 19, but I don't know if I'll go that big. But at 15, you get some sizes, you get a really big advantage on that, on doing things. But I've had a couple 15s and had to send them back because of issues with them. So
okay.
But that's kind of the thing there. I did order some transfer papers. I might have a custom shirt or something there at the fest. If it gets here in time and I get a design done, I have one in mind. I also may put that. I don't think anybody's officially doing it. I may put one of these on a shirt.
Okay, interesting.
This he put on Facebook, but he mentioned he'd had names of people who designed it.
Yeah.
The image I pulled off of Facebook didn't have it. So
okay. Well, whatever whatever. Maybe we have to ask him for his master file that he sent off to wherever he sent it.
And I'm not trying to
print or whatever.
Yeah, it's he did it. He's kind of sharing it, but I'm not trying to compete with him. But I thought that would be cool, and I have the capability of doing it. So. Yep. And without sending it out, these are significantly less expensive than what he has to charge. Vistaprint is charging him, but they're a little smaller, and it'd probably come up a lot closer to the price once you add shipping in, as much as shipping is anymore. But that's just what my photo printer will kick out, and. Just a moment here. And so I was firing it up the other day to print this. And I thought, well, I have that. I'll just print it out too.
Wow, that's a pretty big photo.
Yeah. That's a Coco lighthouse, if I'm not incorrect.
It's a little Sable lighthouse by Silver Lake, Michigan. And Silver Lake is the only place east of the Mississippi that you can actually drive on the sand dunes yourself. And so they've got sand dunes up there, the lighthouse. And that's kind of a unique picture because that's took with a drone to get that view.
Okay.
So that's just one of the other multiple of one of my other expensive hobbies.
Excellent. All right. Let's just say real quick, let's say hi to a few people in the live chat right now, too, who aren't already on the panel. So Jim Brain is out there. Matchy is out there. Fred Dufas, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, Fred, in Facebook. Hello, Fred. Mark Overholzer, Brian Weasler is out there in Facebook. Tom C. said hi. So a couple people chiming in saying hello in the live chat. Thank you, John Strong. Did anybody else have anything else to share? Show and tell, project updates, anything? Going once?
You can always go to my Ron's Garage and look at stuff. And then if you're bored there, you can go to Show Me Your Color Computer on Facebook. And different people have put their personal things up. Interesting to look at.
Make sure you check out Ron's Garage on Facebook. Always good Coco content there. Hey, Tim Franklin just said hello. Disney Saints fan is here. Hey, Disney. Very cool. Very, very cool. All right, so we're here. We got lots to cover today. I do have some project updates and acquisitions, which we're going to lead into our giveaway. I basically, I found a deal on speech sound packs. There was a 3-pack from the same seller, and it was a buy it now. So rather than having to wait and bid and see the prices go through the ceilings, I immediately pressed the fire button and got them. They came in, I think, Thursday. I tested them. 2 of them work right away. One of them not working. However, I think it was Tom C. who mentioned something some type of spray cleaner. I forgot what it's called, so I need somebody to remind me what that is. But it's some type of
probably deoxit.
Deoxit could be. It was something he mentioned. So I want to figure that part out. I want to try to spray whatever that thing is on the edges and see if I can't clean the edge connector. But 2 out of 3 work.
Rubber eraser sometime will work.
I don't remember. It sounds closer to what Jason had mentioned. I'm not sure, but you guys know. All right, we'll figure that out.
You can go down to Radio Shack and get their contact cleaner. Oh, wait, never mind.
Yes. At Radio Shack. Deoxit, Tom says. That's the same thing that Jason mentioned. So deoxit. Okay.
Yeah, the cleaners will work good.
Okay.
Now, I don't know about this electrical contact cleaner that I got at my local auto parts store, but or I think maybe Walmart, but
where is Deoxit available at?
Oh, that's a good question.
Radio Shack is still around. It's just online.
If you drive to the middle of nowhere and find a Radio Shack independent dealer, you might be able to buy one.
Okay, that's.
Yeah. Now the pencil eraser trick, that's something to try too. That John brought up. I've done that back in the day. If it has some, if you can see like some tarnish, like some black or tarnish on it, that sometimes will work also.
Okay, Tim Franklin says Amazon. Yeah, you would expect Amazon's got just about everything on there.
Yeah, I think you can buy yachts on there now, can't you?
Who knows?
Hey, with the erasers, you have to use the pink ones, the Pro Pinks. The other ones will leave a residue.
Okay.
And then clean it afterwards with alcohol.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
Don't use rubbing alcohol. Use
isopropyl.
Yeah, that's the good stuff, the 91%.
Yeah, don't use Jack Daniels. That leaves residue too.
Yeah, the 91%.
91%.
Yeah, the 91%ers.
Okay, do they make one that's higher than 91%, or is that the maximum legal limit?
There's some out there that are 99.
Yeah, I think this is about what 91% is what you're going to be able to get if you walk into your typical drugstore, department store type place. But
okay. Mikey has joined us, our good friend Mikey Furman, saying trying to watch while shopping the local Asian supermarket, but too loud and too busy. Andrew has just joined us. Okay, pencil eraser trick worked pretty well in my old cartridges. Andrew is one of our entrances. You guys are gonna have to help me pick a winner here. We got a handful of people that commented on my Facebook post. All right, so we're gonna take a commercial break and we're gonna come back. We've got a fair amount of news. We will get to the news, but we've also got a segment or two. So what do you guys think we should do? Should we do our news segment before we do the news, or should we go through a long chunk of news? I'm actually in favor of the news segment. What do you guys think?
I think the answer should be yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
New segment.
When do we have a plan ever?
Okay.
Yeah, a definitive maybe, I would say.
All right. So we're gonna go to commercial. Go to commercial. What's that?
Can we get back to you on that?
You can get back to me on that one. Yes. Okay.
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper. All right. So we're going to run a commercial. We're going to be back, and then we're going to get into a news segment with some stuff, and it's going to be nice. All right. So how about this? We're going to hear a little bit see what Fletcher's been up to.
Hello, this is Grant Leedy with CoCoTALK. Got your Coco 3 yet?
From the makers of the Switcheroo. Wallaby cable, Color Computer 3 dual RGB cable. Get yours today at cocoman.biz.
Fletcher, I don't need that report tomorrow.
Great, JT.
I need it tonight.
But JT...
Fletcher saved $300 on her office away from the office. Radio Shack's revolutionary Model 100 computer. It's a word processor, phone directory, and dialer. It even communicates with the office computer.
Fletcher, how's that report? Fletcher.
Radio Shack's Model 100. Save $300 and put it to work.
You'll go far, Fletcher. You'll go far.
We now return you to CoCoTALK.
All right, we're back. That Fletcher. I'm still waiting on Ron Delvaux to have lunch with Fletcher to see how far she went and get that interview going on. But we've got a new segment on the show. This was the brainchild of Nick Marionettes, or Nick Marentes, and L. Curtis Boyle. And we actually have a new little, because this is a professional show, we've got a new little intro graphic and sound bite that Nick has produced for us. And this segment is going to be called Game On. So check this out, boys and girls. All right. Are you ready to get your game on? I believe Nick Marentes is. I'm used to every video from Nick having a flushing sound at the end of it, but so
right.
This one's called Game On, and why don't you tell us the vision and the goals and the conquest that we're going to have here with this segment, Nick?
Okay, the vision that we make lots of money and we retire very quickly and become world famous.
Oh, we're so
hang on.
already.
Oh, no, that's the wrong one. No, it's basically just a talk. It's game talk. So we talk anything that's game related. So I thought, oh, yeah, let's give an intro called Game On. So we talk anything about games. And in the last week, Curtis and I have been sort of talking about converting some of the old Coco 3 P-Mode 3 games just on a Coco 3, where you can redefine the palette set, just to give them to change their color, to colorize them better than what the defaults are on a standard Coco 1 and 2.
Right.
So I just thought, well, I'll just write a simple program which allows us to load up a selection of Coco 3 games, and that allows us to choose things like high clock speed and the palette set, and users can modify this basic program to customize the choice of colors. But Curtis and I have spent a bit of time actually going through it and just mucking around with colors and trying to get something that we like. But the basic program, which I'll make available somewhere, I'm not sure yet where to put it, so people can just download and they can add their own games and change the colors to suit what they prefer. But anyway, I've got the program now. I've got new bandwidth here at home, so I can try share my screen.
Please do.
So that, yeah. So with a bit of luck, it won't. Let me just close a few windows, and I am.
Oh, you're running Nexus 9? That's cool.
Not, yeah, that's why it's crashing.
Hit the
That's why
clear
it's
key.
not working. So, I will run a VCC. Now, I'll just share that and hopefully it'll work. Now, where do we share again? God, I won't get this mixed up. Here I am. Sharing.
Well, the menus are all upside down for you. I think that's why you always get confused with it. So.
Okay, can you see that? Okay. Does that come through?
Yeah, the greatest emulator ever made, VCC. Yes.
Well, that's the only one I use. So it's a program written in BASIC. So I'll just run it up. And it's called Game Menu. And I've put 4 games on there, which I've always liked these 4 in particular.
Okay, I want to see Trapfall myself. That's the Pitfall game.
So Trapfall, okay, well, we'll do Trapfall first. First of all, the program allows you to, choose the game on the menu. So I do that. It then asks you whether you want double speed. Now, for Trapfall in particular, I don't recommend it.
Yeah.
You
can die a lot faster.
That's right. So, so I hit no to that. Then it asks if you want to see the enhanced Coco 3 colors or just the original. Now, I'll put the original up first so that you can see what it used to look like.
Yeah.
So I'll say no to that. It loads it up. And that's the original color set. Now, I haven't got a joystick hooked up proper, so I'm going to die very quickly here. But that's the original color set there. Yeah. The standard red, green, yellow, and blue.
And ironically...
And that was not too bad, actually.
Those didn't look too bad for this game.
Yeah, they weren't too bad. But in the process of trying to do this program, I thought, can we make it better? So I'll just restart VCC and run the menu again.
Yeah, and the answer to that, of course, was no, but we're going to do it anyway.
Yeah. We spent some time going through the colors here, trying to find things that looked good.
So the colors have been predetermined. Would there be maybe a color editor if somebody wanted to maybe tweak it to be their own?
Well,
right now it's just data statements in the program. So you get
so I'll show you how we change those.
Gotcha.
But I'll put up the first example, Trapfall, in its enhanced colors, or the ones that we chose
without double speed still, right? Okay.
Oh yeah, I still say no to that because this game is just impossible to play.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So enhanced color, yes, and then I've even supported RGB and composite. So for the composite conversion, I've used Eric
Gavrilex.
Gavrilex RGB to composite conversion. So I found that to be fairly accurate, and I've tested it on my NTSC screen. It does look all right, but for the purposes of this exercise, I will choose RGB. So there the RGB
that
colors.
Is cool, dude.
So,
I love this. The pale blue background.
It's a bit less harsh than the standard ones.
I would have never have imagined these colors. I don't know that I would have picked these, and I approve.
We spent a lot of time trying to come.
Yeah.
Like at first, we were trying to match the original versions of these games' colors, but in some cases, because you have 4 colors and they had to make choices as to what colors do what, that didn't quite work. So we started, in some cases, just picking our own that we thought.
Yeah. This is really nice. Yeah, I like that green.
Yeah, that one looks good.
It's like a more olive, like an army green, like olive drab, huh?
Yeah. I think the original had a dark green area in the top here, and had a lighter green just here to signify that you're running through jungle. But the thing is, with the Coco, it had VCC, this is an error in VCC, I think. Normally, you have a green border around the edges, and it was too much green.
Okay.
So we thought, let's get rid of the green, and we put sky there instead. So it looks a bit better there. Unfortunately, of course, we've only got the original 4 colors to play with. So things like that pond, that there was a pond popping, that one there, is brown. So instead of water, I haven't got a joystick, so I can't control it. So yeah, instead of a pond of water, it's a pond of mud. So
quicksand is what I call it.
It's all quicksand. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh, is it meant to be quicksand or a pond? I don't know. I think in the original color set it's blue, isn't it, or is it some other color? I forget. But that's Trapfall. One of my favorite games that I really what started me on this was a game called The Touchstone. If you've ever seen that, and it's a Tutankhamun or whatever it's called in the arcades. Arcade. It's a clone of Tutankhamun or Tutankhamun or whatever. So I'll say yes to double on this one. And do you want to see the original colors, or we go straight?
Yeah,
to
I guess we can look at. We'll do the before and after, I guess.
Okay. Well, this is the original coming up. So the Touchstone, yep. And I'm not going to be able to control this. So, I still can't control it. So
yeah, this is hurting my eyes. Yeah,
yeah. So it's again reasonable for the color computer color set, but it's very strong. The nuclear green, you can actually feel the radioactivity coming off that screen.
Yes, I'm getting
it's
face
the clown
cancer.
colors.
Yes,
clown colors.
You can feel your eyeballs evolving while you watch this.
Yeah, that's right. Now, this game, I felt that this game, even back in the 80s, I thought this was a well-done arcade conversion for the Coco 1 and 2. It played very arcade-like. It actually, and on the Coco 3, at the higher clock rate, and with the enhanced colors, which I'll bring up now, it looks even better.
Now, I will do one side bit here, just as Nick's loading it back up. But when we were jumping through the code, we discovered there's a copyright notice in it, because that was one I had listed on my site as unknown author, because there's no credits on the screen, but there was in the code. So the actual person is Paulo, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing the last name, I'm Castrogano of Brazil. So we have a couple of Brazilian Coco owners, and they have their little mini CoCoFEST that they have there too. So I would love to see if one of those people can try to see if this guy is still around and get in contact with him for an interview. And also, there was also a Coco 3 patch version released October 10th, 1986, because that's commented in the main program itself too as just raw data. So it looks like there was a re-release. Must have been some fix he had to do for the Coco 3.
I remember back in the day when I got my Coco 3, I couldn't play this game on Coco 3. I was playing it on the Coco 1 and 2, but it wouldn't work correctly on the Coco 3. So as a laugh, I thought I'd just bring it up just to remember what the graphics was like, and lo and behold, it worked. I downloaded it off the Coco archive, and it worked on the Coco 3. I couldn't understand why couldn't I play it back in the 80s. Anyway, this is version 1.1. It mentions.
The original version was released in 1984 from Tom Mix, and then this updated version came out in October of 1986, just after the
That's
Coco.
right, yeah. So this one works on the Coco 3. And anyway, I played it for quite some time because it's a great game. It's really well done, very good quality. And if we can find the author, we should interview him and just see if he did anything else. But anyway, let's start the game. So I've gone for a darker blue. So I wasn't sure if that's the best color, but I'll show you what I've done, and people can actually change.
Well, what I like
colors.
about this is that the black is now not the background color, but black is an accent color, and it's not getting lost.
That's right, and black. You could put a black background on there, just make the blue black and change the black to something else for the score. But yeah, that's the beauty. You can just put whatever colors you want in there. And
this was a tough one to pick too, because the original arcade game, depending on which level you were on, the colors changed. Have like a background, have a dark blue background. So we just kind of compromised, and this one seemed to be the best overall.
Yeah, I like it. Good choices.
Now, if I reset the program and just load the menu, I can just quickly show you where, if you want to add more programs to the menu and where to change. I'll just see if I can. I wonder if width 80 is visible. Is that visible, or is it too?
Yeah, we can see it.
Oh, you can see it. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, yeah. If you list the program towards the end, are these data statements where I put the game details in. So the first line is the full name of the game. So in this case, like this first one here, Lunar Rover Patrol. So you actually put the whole text in there, and that's what appears on the menu. So you don't have to try to work out the file name, which is a Lunar Rover, and you're wondering, well, what's that game really? So the menu actually prints Lunar Rover Patrol, and then the next line is the actual file name, and it assumes .bin, Lunar Rover. And the next line, the 0 there, it tells you, well, when the program goes to convert the palette, it's wondering whether, so it knows where to start changing the colors. Does it start from palette color 0 or palette color 4? See, this next one here, Puyan, is palette 4. That's because Puyan uses the white background.
Yep.
So its colors are from 4, 5, 6, 7, whereas the green background uses colors 0 to 3. So I thought an easy way to do that
versus screen 1, 0. Screen 1, 1 versus screen 1, 0.
Yeah. But this is just an easy way. I thought, well, rather than put a whole lot of code in there, just put a 0 or a 4, so the program knows what colors to change. Then the last 4 digits are the 4 RGB colors. So down here on trap, full color 0, because it's changing from 0, is 25. Then number 1 is 53. Number 2 is 34. Number 3 is 2. Now, when you choose composite, it uses a little table you see down the below here, and that's the RGB to composite conversion table. So it will then convert 25 to whatever the corresponding number is here, and it's fairly accurate. I mean, I hate composite myself, NTSC composite, but this particular set of conversions that Eric's done is actually fairly accurate. So, and that's what I use now in any games that I do, and I think Curtis has incorporated this in the EOU as well.
Yeah,
if you want to tell people about that,
that's coming out before the fest here is actually going to have that new color table built into it too.
Yeah, so I found it to be accurate, so I thought, well, yeah, put it in and support those people who've only got a composite monitor. But that's basically it, and then you just run the program, and those entries appear on the menu, and you get the full name, and you just press 1, 2, 3, 4, or whatever.
Let's see what you did with Lunar Rover Patrol.
Okay,
hey, we have a question from our audience.
Yep.
The question is, can you set the color on that?
You're talking about this border.
The border, yeah.
No, I know. We were hoping we could, but those borders, those normally would be a bright green or a bright white, is fixed. Yeah, unfortunately,
you emulated the VDG chip a little too closely for that. Unfortunately, they didn't.
Yeah, it locks.
So does that mean does it assume the same color as color 0 then?
Or 4, depending which.
Yeah. Now, see, this is where VCC has a problem. That should be green.
Yeah.
So it's not handling the border. So on a real Coco, that would be a bright green, and they're the colors we chose for Lunar Rover Patrol. So if I could start it, but I don't have a joystick attached, so I can't. But anyway, you can see what the title screen looks like. It's a slightly darker green than the green that normally goes in the border, because I think the original game had the brighter green here, and it just looked terrible. It was blending in with the border. Like there's just an excess amount of nuclear green on the screen. So we went for a slightly darker green rather. We did actually try a grey as well. I think we figured this is the moon, isn't it? Because Earth is there, so maybe that should be a grey. So we tried the grey, and it was all right. But I just decided, let's go for colour. Let's give the moon a blue sky and a green mountains.
Well, the moon is made out of cheese, so.
Well, that's right. Well, this is the part of the moon. This is on the dark side of the moon, so we don't know what the moon's really like on that side, right? Ron?
Earth is having
right.
Earth is having the same problem with algae.
It's a great paradise on the other side, and no one knows it. And here we are on the Coco. We can.
So where are all these programs stored?
I'm not sure. I'm going to put it somewhere where people can download, whether it's going to be on a website or.
No, I didn't mean that. I mean,
I was going to ask about that. Yeah.
I just got these off the
image.
Coco archive. Yeah, the standard Coco archive.
No.
And the disc image that has the menu actually has these games on it, so you
Oh,
copy
okay. That's the
Yeah. These ones I put on the disc. So if I do a directory of the disc, I have.
No, I did years ago. I did this Lunar Rover Patrol, and I did come up with a gray, blue to black that actually didn't look too bad, which Nick and I just could not figure out how to recreate, and I lost my notes. So I'm still going to try to get that done, and we'll have an alternative version so you guys can try a couple different versions.
So we can download this. We don't have to type this in.
No, put it in the new Rainbow magazine as a type-in.
Good idea. It's the right link.
Pause the podcast when he did the listing and type it in from there.
Yeah, real quick. Do a quick shift at as it's going through the screen.
Okay, you ready for it?
Yeah.
Right, start typing. Oop, it's not there. I'm going to load it up first.
That was a short program.
With 80.
That was the encrypted version.
Yeah.
Get ready to pause.
All right, for those of you listening to the podcast, this is the sound of a program being.
Hey,
There it is now. Type it in.
1200 baud like a modem.
Yeah.
So I could give this. Mark can put it in the Rainbow if you want. It's not too long a program.
Oh no, it'd be great. Perfect length.
You won't get all the programs which are on the disc as well. But these are just downloaded off the.
So you got Lunar Rover, Puyan, Touch, and Trap Ball.
Puyan, the classic Puyan. We'll end on Puyan.
Okay, so is this different than there's already a Coco 3 crack version or patch version out there?
But just so that people can change the colors to what they want, you can change it to whatever you want, and of course I recommend high speed. Except the music goes like crazy. I think these are what the patch version is.
Wow, I like that.
Could we
kind
patch
of pale
the music?
Yeah.
All we need is Brian's voice in there.
So. And what and for a laugh, I'll quickly
I like that pale yellow.
Yeah, I think that might be the only part that is different to the patch version that you normally find. I just thought, no, there's enough white, and this time around, VCC is correct that the border is meant to be white.
Right.
But yeah, I thought, there's enough white there. Let's go for something a bit better. Of course, I can't play this with a mouse. Just for those who want to laugh, let's run it in its original glory.
And I got to say, to the credit, this is one of the few games using those nuclear puke colors that actually does a good job using the colors.
It's not too bad, but it's also a bit strange that Puyan, the actual game Puyan, would have actually looked better in the green color set because the colors do match better. Why they went to this, I don't know. They just wanted it to look a bit different to the normal.
Yeah.
To the normal.
Wanted it to stand out in a dark room, I guess. I don't know.
Yes.
So there it is.
VCC is doing a.
I'll just get rid of this. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. VCC is not doing a good job of translating those palettes well. They actually are not this loud on the real Coco. The VCC palette's a little off.
Yeah, maybe they're a bit
VCC's
strong.
colors are off.
Yeah.
So it's going from this overly colourful version of Puyan, which no other version of Puyan on any other computer has these colours. But this one would have worked really well with the blue, red, yellow, and green color set. And why they didn't do it, I don't know. But anyway.
Those are Easter colors.
Easter colors, Ron says. Easter colors, yeah.
But now you can change it to whatever you want by editing the program. So
okay.
And one thing we'd like to suggest for people that do download.
Make it stop! Make it stop!
Once Nick put this up, I'd like to see some people maybe see if they can come up with better color sets than we did. because we only do a couple of hours trying to
Oh,
do
you know what we could do for it? We can make that another contest.
Yeah.
I don't know what prize we're going to give away, but I like this whole contest idea. So yeah,
And
we could even pick a couple specific games and make a new disc and then let people submit their own versions of the color schemes that they.
Hey, that could be a contest for the CoCoFEST. Who brings their best versions of Popo?
Yeah, best palette. Now, but here's the thing, though. You have to. This program has to be tailored to each program it's going to hack, right? Because you got to know where in memory to poke the values for the palettes and everything else.
No, you're just setting palette registers. There's no pokes. It's
Oh, so we're not modifying the code
we're
at
not
all.
modifying the code at all. We're changing the clock speed of the Coco 3.
So literally, this program could be fairly easily modified to include new games. So you just find the game you like.
Oh yeah.
And then you just put in that table. So if you follow the data structure like you have, we could just add more things to the menu and add new palette choices.
Now, a disclaimer: there are some games that are they load in spots that'll overwrite basic. So there's certain games that you can't with not easy.
This basic menu program gets in the way, I'm not sure, but these ones seem to work okay.
But on those cases, you can create a special program that just creates the palettes and then exits right away. And then you load them and exec your other problems manually, and you'll get the new colors. So,
because I'm thinking like some of the games like Cashman might be kind of cool, and
the thing is,
what was the other one?
Time Banded.
Now,
yeah, that may be. But the thing is, Cashman and Time Banded are P Mode 4 games. They use the artifacting.
Not really.
So, there may be cracked versions or modified versions on the Coco archive, so you could load those up and change whatever 4 colors they had chose. Or actually, they'll probably
Cashman, because Cashman lets you change the palette set at the home screen where you can choose the
palette market, so they can get some.
Okay, yep. So it would work there as well.
At least Cashman would. I'm not sure about Time.
Hey guys, I have another idea too. While you're doing this, you can do like a Vectrix overlay.
I don't know what you mean.
Yeah.
Like
earlier,
Vectrix has
Vectrix had the clear film that went in front of the screen for different colors, the tinted colored stuff.
That would totally change things, also.
Well, not really, because if you put colored overlays on there, if for example, I have this green background, I want to make it blue. Putting a blue cover on the front's not going to give you a blue screen.
You just add yellow, because yellow and green make blue.
Or
blue and yellow make
yellow,
green.
or maybe even make it black and make it dark. So I don't know if that would work when you're dealing. The Vectrix works because it's a black and white screen.
Yeah, so like on a P Mode 4 game using the high res black and white mode, that would work.
You could do that.
Yeah, like Microbes or Dagrath or something like that. You could try.
That's right. You can do the Vectrix trick. Now, there is another thing, and in closing, I will bring this up. For anyone else who has a Coco what do you call it? The RGB, what's a
Coco VGA?
A Coco VGA. If you have a Coco VGA, anyone who has one of those might want to take this program and I don't know, modify it to suit a Coco VGA. So then you could have a version of this program that will run on a Coco 1 and 2 with a Coco VGA, and you can do a similar thing. A Coco VGA has a larger color palette, I think 512 colors, so you can go nuts and do really change the colors to whatever you want there. So
we need a mathematician to come up with all the different
well, I haven't got a Coco VGA, so I couldn't test all that. So anyone who has a Coco VGA can modify the program.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. Hey, Nick.
Yep.
Look under your chair.
Look under my chair.
yeah. Like, everybody's getting Coco VGAs today. So
all I can find is the bubble gum I stuck under there.
I will mention Coco VGA palette is 3 bits per color, which is exactly the same as the Atari ST. So if you find a color chart for an Atari ST, the Coco VGAs exactly match that.
Yeah. So I'll now unshare as soon as I find where the hell that's done again.
We had another
Stop share,
viewer
there we
comment.
are. Yes.
Said try the game Dragonfire. That's from Matchy.
Hey, Simon.
Dragonfire, is that a P Mode 4 game though?
No, it's P Mode 3, but it's one that mixes both color sets multiple times on the same scan line.
Yes.
I don't. That one would have to try. I would assume that would work.
Does that even run on the Coco 3?
I don't know if it does. I can give it a try.
Proper codes. I know you can change at least per scan line. I don't know if you can change multiple times per scan line. The Coco 3. I don't remember.
I must check, but that would be a good one. But at that one, I'd have to modify the program because it's doing all 8 colors. So maybe I can make
set up all 8.
Set up a special entry that looks for that game and says I'm going to do all 8 colors. But yeah, that would fix that game up quite well.
Tim Franklin was wanted to ask about the frame. So anyway,
yeah, minus the frame, yeah, and that's it.
Yes, I'd like to just add a little bit the teaser here since it's a game segment, if you don't mind for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Ooh.
I recognize that.
Okay, you would.
Commodore 64.
Yes.
Space Taxi.
Okay. So it's just something I've played with a little bit. And looks like my wife is ready to go somewhere, so I'm going to have to drop off here. But yeah, I've been experimenting, so we'll see.
Okay.
So what's that for? The Coco VGA?
No, actually, this is for the 3, but it would probably work on a VGA.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, because Coco VGA, you could define those characters and get it to look just like that. Yeah.
Yeah, this was something that when I was doing it, and I seen some of the Coco VGA stuff he's doing at Tandy Assembly, and it's like, oh well, yeah, could probably do it on that.
Yeah.
But, I only have so much time, and I'm way behind on projects now, so I doubt if I'm taking on a Coco VGA project as well. But
you just have to sacrifice some sleep. That's all.
And you still have to get that bigger house. You can have 3 or 4 printers. So.
You might need an extra room for the Coco VGA now too. So
yeah. You might as well just buy a mansion and be done with it, and just have the VGA wing, the MC10 wing, the Coco 3 wing.
Well, yeah, it's
and the humans can live outside in the outhouse. All right, Steve, you might want to close us off with that great video intro. We'll end on that, eh?
Hey,
because I want to hear the tune again.
All right, so I've got to share my sound again.
Oh,
hold on one second here.
And this segment will be for like hacking games, for tips and playing games, and all kinds of things. Basically, anything game related. So
we could probably even do game reviews as well.
Yeah.
We'll start off with something small, like do the OS9 games.
I wouldn't mind doing a piggyback on the Coco Crew. Whatever game that Neil does for that particular month, we can actually show it playing live. That'd be pretty good segment, I think.
Yeah.
And Neil expressed interest in actually joining us for that. But if you can't, for whatever reason,
and I can maybe show you guys my ripping tool and things like that also during the segment time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the idea of the GameON.
I grabbed that data from Commodore screenshots.
Cool. Cool.
And brought it into my tool, which then creates the tiles for the Coco stuff.
Okay. We've been joined by Simon Jonason, the Madman. Welcome, Simon.
World traveler soon.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Hey.
All right, bye, guys.
All right. Okay, so we're gonna play the Game On thing here to bookend this and end this segment. And then I'm gonna run another commercial and we'll be back with some news. All right, that concludes a Game On segment with Nick Marentes and L. Curtis Boyle.
Now we turn you to CoCoTALK.
Hello, I'm David Ladd. Thank you for watching CoCoTALK, the world's leading live CoCoTALK show.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's me. It's Original Gamer Stevie Stroh. You know, gameplay. To get your copy of a Gameplay Goodness Color Computer Gaming DVD today, head on over to 8bit256.com. There you will find several DVDs featuring color computer gameplay videos by the Original Gamer Stevie Stroh. So to get your very own copy of a Gameplay Goodness Color Computer Gaming DVD, head on over to the Retro Swag Shop at 8bit256.com and tell them the Original Gamer Stevie Stroh sent you.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
This year, I needed to give a real family pleaser.
Honey, please help me with this budget.
How about a new game, Dad? Please.
And I found it. Radio Shack's Color Computer 2. On sale for just $99.95. It entertains, educates, manages. It's expandable and affordable. Now that really pleases me.
The Color Computer 2. Sale price for Christmas. Only at Radio Shack.
We now return you to CoCoTALK.
Hey, what monitor was that in that ad?
Oh, it was probably one of their TVs.
Was it? Because it was it looked like the Commodore 1701 monitor. Because I just set my 1701 monitor up and a Commodore 64, and it looks exactly. It looks exactly like the monitor there. It's actually made by JVC, but maybe it's the same monitor that Tandy was selling as well.
Does have the same shape.
It has the same shape, and I think it was even the same color, that brownie Commodore 64 color.
Didn't Tandy use those Magnavox?
Was it Magnavoxes? Yeah, I don't know, but
the CM8 was a Magnavox, I believe.
Yeah.
It says Radio Shack on it, from what I can see.
All right. Okay.
I freeze framed it on the YouTube feed.
All right. Well, we got a lot of news to cover. Are we ready for news, boys and girls?
Sure.
Yes.
Are we ready for this? All right.
Yes. Do it.
Yeah.
Was nowhere through.
All right. Well, we got all kinds of news. Now, David O'Connor could not be with us today, but I thought this one was kind of interesting. I came across this. This is from 1976, and this was the world's first musical computer. This was like a, I don't know, BBC archive type thing. And
this unit is much more than basic computer science. This is the world's only stochastic computer. Now that means that it works in a fashion very similar to the human brain. It's possible to feed into this unit so much knowledge about a particular subject, in this instance they've chosen music, that when it's faced with a musical situation, it reacts quite instinctively.
So they taught it some chords and it started to improvise music. And this is going back to 1967. So I thought this was kind of interesting. And I thought David might get a kick out of this. I'm not going to play too much of it because I don't know if I'm going to get a copyright flag. But I'll keep these tabs open and we'll put links to all these things in the show notes to the show after the show is done. But I thought that was kind of cool and I thought David might get a kick out of that. David's not with us today, but hopefully he'll be back on another episode. So we'll move on from there. We got all kinds of other things to go on. So here's Robert Stieg. Is that how we pronounce his name? Robert Stieg?
A bit of an idea.
And so he was showing us, I don't know, Robert's been up to all kinds of crazy stuff right now, all kinds of shenanigans. But he's been showing off, what was this video called? This video was called, I had a couple from Robert. This is a sample method of copying a high-resolution screen to the SG6 using the MCX and VMC, but it works on a real MC10 with an MCX. That's the media extender, right? Also, you can draw, use circles, P-set lines, and anything else you want to use on here.
Maybe it's drawing it in memory.
And I don't remember what he did here, so I'm going to scroll around here. But I think he ended up putting graphics in here. Yeah, here we go. So he's actually got it to the point where, I'm not sure where he's drawing now, but he's got it where you can use some of the graphical plotting things to plot out semi-graphics. I thought that was kind of cool. He's had he's done a number of these things. You've seen him where he's taken these pictures and redithered them to work with different patterns and show up as kind of like the 4-color stuff. So this was one of a few things that Robert had. There was another one he did. I don't know if I saved that one. Here's a picture of it here, where he's got it where it's actually plotting these circles and lines and stuff in semi-graphics, which is kind of cool. What is it? SG6. What resolution is that?
64 by 48.
64 by 48.
It's a little higher than the standard set reset graphics.
Okay. Okay. So that looks pretty cool. And so just doing some things with the MC10, you know, as we all should. So I thought that was kind of cool. There was another one I meant to get from him. I don't know if I got that one. So, but showing the MC10, not just Jim Gary, but other people are showing the MC10 some love too. So I thought that was pretty cool. So here's something kind of interesting, and I saved this for a reason, only because this is kind of leading into a bigger discussion, and this is getting into the future of not only the video game consoles, but the whole craze of the minis. So, you know, the NES Mini and the Super NES Mini, that led into like a Commodore 64 Mini. They're now going to a model of... they're going to be releasing a Sega Genesis Mini. And I think somebody was talking about the Commodore 64 Mini recently, and it got me thinking, you know, because that's got basic ROMs in it. That's Microsoft Basic. And I think at that time, the deal Commodore had was they owned it, right? They didn't have to license each copy. I think if I remember reading the book from Boise and Bill, that was the last time Microsoft sold the operating system outright, and they went to a licensing model. But I believe the Commodore, they own the basic, and so the fact they can make a Commodore 64 mini console is great, but you know, will we ever see a Coco Mini? It's hard to say.
Well, there's an extra licensing thing with Tandy though, because that was a three-way thing, right? Like it had Microsoft and Tandy both had part of the copyright.
Could be.
You have to get
Not
permission
sure.
from both of them to make a mini,
Yeah.
whereas Commodore, I think, was just because they have the rights. It was just them.
So actually, this is the wrong.
Microware too, right? Microware patched it for the.
If you're on Coco 3, yes, not on the Coco.
Yeah. So we have these mini consoles that are coming out. So there's a number of them. The ones that are coming out now are, I guess, supposedly like, you know, definitely the Nintendo, the NES Mini and the SNES Mini. Those are made by Nintendo, so Nintendo has all the licenses for that. Nintendo still owns that. There was a PS1 Mini that has come out. They're getting ready to come out with the Sega Genesis Mini, which will be interesting. The C64 Mini has come out. But the other thing that got me thinking too was, so this is kind of the future of game consoles, whereas Microsoft is going to be releasing a next generation. Oh, who's holding that up there? Simon's holding up the Mini. You have the NES Mini, Simon?
That was a C64, wasn't it?
C64 Mini. I mean, you have the C64 Mini.
Looks like he's got both.
Yeah,
I've got both of them.
Yeah, the C64 Mini, and that'll let you get into BASIC, right?
Yes, it will.
Yeah. So that's kind of interesting, and that really, you know, I think that's our big problem is when can we release an official Coco product? I think the BASIC ROM introduces a challenge. I also was thinking about this. So the future of at least Microsoft's idea here is Microsoft is going to be dropping physical media altogether. So their next Xbox will not have a disk drive at all. This is mostly cost reduction to not have it. And so they're going to a digital download model. And I have mixed feelings about this. Right now, I find it to be super convenient, but think about all the cartridges that we have now, and think about the disk images that we have now, and the things that are kind of preserved. You know, what is a future retro gamer going to have to look forward to when you got nothing you can touch? And right now, everything lives in this hard drive. You have to hope the hard drive lasts, number one. Number two, the way Microsoft works right now is if you lose internet connectivity, you can't play these digital downloads because it has to constantly be able to kind of phone home to the mothership to validate your digital rights management. So if you lose the internet in the middle of a game, it'll stop playing, saying, I can't verify that you own this copy. So what's going to happen, 20 years from now when you've got this console with all these digital downloads? What is that, Simon?
That is 200 games.
Okay. Are they official or are they like generic ones?
No, it's an 8-bit console that just runs on batteries and composite out.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring one to CoCoFEST so you'll come see it.
Cool.
Because a lot of these games can actually be ported to the Coco Free very, very easily.
Oh, okay. So some inspiration there.
Yes.
Well, look what happened with Nintendo recently. They closed the Wii Marketplace, so you can't buy or download any of your digital games anymore.
What was that, Nick? I'm sorry.
Nintendo closed the Wii shop, so
right.
any software you bought, you can't download again.
Right. So
and
so
you can't
that's
even back it up.
Yeah, I see that as a twofold problem. Number one, you don't have a physical backup. Number two, you can't even use what you've paid for when they shut down the validation networks.
And that's happened on some of the massive multiplayer games from days of yore in the PC, like even 10, 15-year-old games now. They shut down the servers and you can no longer play them.
Yeah.
For the Wii, you just need to hack in the homebrew channel when you've got.
Well, yeah, but some people, like technical people, can do that. Like I've done that, but there are people who don't have that
technical ability.
Yeah.
Well, in the future, they're going to have free internet across the country, correct?
Free internet across.
Somebody just said that recently, like Google or somebody. They're going to try.
That wouldn't solve the problem though, because if the servers are gone, the game's still gone. So free internet doesn't help you.
Yeah. So
they won't interrupt. It'll come from above. You'll have
that brings up a question. I mean, do we really own these games that are diskless? Are you just leasing them while you play them?
Yeah. I mean, you're paying full price, and you technically you own it as long as the back end systems are still reachable. So even if the internet becomes free, they're killing the reselling market, and they're killing the retro market. Yeah, because there's no future here. There's no future that 30 years later somebody wants to pull up a retro console from today. You're not going to be able to access the content.
But again, people with technical abilities can, because I mean, you can download all the WiiWare stuff. Like if you have technical acuity, you can do it.
Right.
It just closes off the people who don't.
If Microsoft was, what they should do to make this future proof was they would have to sunset the network when they say, hey, we're out of this console's retired, we're not looking to support it. Well, they should sunset the network by removing that dependency where these games will work offline. That's the only honorable thing to do to make sure people can still use what they paid for. But hard to say. But it's an interesting thing to consider. The future of retro collecting, I think, is not as bright because we're in this digital, non-tangible world now.
I agree. Is PlayStation following suit?
Well, supposedly, I just read somewhere that the PlayStation 5 is not dropping the disc. They're still going to have the disc. So the disc is really a physical backup, but when you get a disc on day one and you pop it in, it's still got to download a 50 gigabyte update the minute you pop it in, but you have that disc, and the copyright protection is validated against the physical disc versus an online server. So there are some benefits to the disc. The downside too is if you scratch your disc or you lose your disc, you're SOL. But anyways. We probably beat this one to death unless you guys have more to say on that.
I have a piece of retro news that's not directly related to Coco, actually at all. But today until tomorrow, the PlayStation Classic is on sale for $50 off at Best Buy in Canada and the US. And it is very hackable. You can add emulators for Super Nintendo, all that stuff. So actually, I picked one up. So they're on sale for $30.
Okay, let me just follow up with that by saying that if you own a halfway decent PC and you go to the Ubisoft website, they're right now for PC only giving a free download of Assassin's Creed Unity, which took place in ancient France because it's like an homage to Notre Dame, since Notre Dame is basically kind of burnt down. So they're giving away a free download for that for PC through April 25th. So you've got 5 more days to cash in on that. Free PC download. I just got it. I've got it on the Xbox One. But again, it's like one of these weird digital things where it's downloaded to that Xbox, but I can't play it on a different Xbox. It's just a big pain in the ass. So I now have a digital download of that for the PC. And that was actually a really cool game if you like those type of games. But you actually get to hang out and do some stuff inside the Cathedral of Notre Dame. in the game. So back in ancient times, you know. All right, so we're moving on from that subject there. So the future of retro collecting.
Just comment on the subject just for a second.
Oh, hey, Steve Bjork, welcome.
Hey, Steve.
Hey there. One of the things about them shutting down the store for the Wii does not mean that they're shutting down the authorization on the games that you already bought. It just means you won't be able to buy anymore.
Right, or re-download them, right.
Right, exactly. Well, that's the thing is, once it's on your console, internally it's still authorized.
Yeah.
If you're bringing it from a backup, that's the problem.
But you know the problem with Wii downloadable content is they tied it to the actual physical Wii.
Yes.
So if I've got another Wii, I can't play those games because the internal ID is different.
Yeah.
So I'm stuck with
and
this.
that is a problem. That's the reason why Microsoft uses your Microsoft account to authorize everything.
The way they should, the way everybody else does, except for Nintendo.
Yeah.
Why did Tandy do that? Why did Nintendo do that?
Yeah, well, Nintendo got burned quite a bit on piracy there, believe it or not.
Yeah, I know.
And they still feel that if you are using one of the Donkey Kong ROMs on an emulator from the NES, you are ripping them off.
Yeah.
They're very strong on that.
Yeah.
So it's not a perfect world. Some companies are doing better jobs than other companies as far as allowing you to continue using your content. But you're right. When it's tied to a particular hardware and your Wii dies, you've lost your games.
Yeah.
I believe authors should be compensated, definitely. I just think that there's also fair use for the stuff that you buy yourself. That's where I have the problem.
Well, when I was writing games, obviously we had to put some sort of protection in the games to keep them from being pirated, because I've lost a lot of money due to piracy. But still,
you should be paid for sure.
Yeah, but one of the things that I never liked is if somebody couldn't see my game before they bought it, and then after they bought it, they're stuck with it. I never liked that either. So that's the reason why I at least always had a demo mode in the game, so that cartridge would play in the Radio Shack store, so you could at least see if you liked the game or didn't like it. But I mean, it also worked great for advertising, because every one of my games I tried to put a demo mode in there, and of course that encouraged the managers to play my game opposed to a game that just sat there on the start screen.
Absolutely. Sell some units.
But,
Megabug was awesome. I kept hearing, "We gotcha."
The other thing in regards to like Nintendo with the classic Nintendo and the other games they do, some of the games that Nintendo had that was third party, they actually did buy the rights to, where there's other games they didn't. That's the reason why on things like the Mini Classic and what have you, there's a rather unusual collection of games on there. Mostly Nintendo, some third party, but those third parties were the ones that they bought and they're selling them directly.
Oh, so they're technically they own the rights to them.
Exactly. Where, like, for example, when I was at THQ, those games were owned by THQ, but we got the ability to license them onto the Nintendo. So Nintendo wouldn't have rights to the game. We just had the rights to put them on the Nintendo.
Right.
And of course, that was the dirty little secret. Nintendo manufactured the cartridge, so of the $60 a game would cost, it would be lucky if THQ made about $10. Nintendo was making the lion's share on all those.
Oh yeah.
That's why they stuck with cartridges so long.
Yeah. So, if you buy one of these game systems and they have a lot of unusual or Japanese games on them, that's why, because they own the rights to those.
Yeah. Hey, I just thought of something, because I'm watching Simon smoke his little skinny thing there. So the question was, Simon, let's just get it out in the air here. So I'm assuming you're smoking your own hand-rolled cigarettes that happen to contain tobacco, but we're not here to judge. But just out of curiosity, what are you smoking, Simon? That question came up from the last episode you're on, because it looked like you were smoking a nice doobie there. So
I'll show you exactly what I'm smoking.
Is this a new segment?
New segment. What is Simon smoking?
Trying to get him watching the Burger or what?
Because I remember you guys talking about it, saying, "Looked like Simon was smoking something."
I'm so glad you asked. You ask the questions that people are afraid.
I don't do weed. I don't do weed because get paranoid with it. I'll tell you exactly what
What is that now? Pall Mall 2.
So we can keep our family-friendly rating.
Yeah, and in the old days, programs were sponsored by tobacco companies. So
it's brought to you by Winston.
Brought to you by Winston. This segment brought to you by
on the box.
Yeah. Hold up that box again, Pall Mall.
Yeah, show us the box.
It's got
What's with the baby?
Your kid will need a cigarette.
It's got a picture of a kid, and it says, children of smokers often start smoking.
It's anti-smoking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have that up here in Canada too.
I'll show the other one.
Oh, we have the black lungs in Canada. They show the black lungs deteriorating in Canada.
Yeah, they're pretty graphic. And gum disease and all kinds of stuff. It's just like basically trying to scare you off.
But they happily take tax money.
Here we have this one. Here we have this one, which is the one I want. It's an amputated leg. It's like,
Oh, beautiful.
From like diabetes or whatever.
Yeah, smoking can cause what is it?
Poor circulation.
Yes.
I thought maybe you actually lit fire to your leg and have to get amputated or something.
Yeah.
We thought the warnings that were on cigarettes in America was bad.
Yeah, smoking can cause your leg to fall off.
Welcome to Smoke Talk.
Side effects may include diarrhea.
And nausea.
So for those of you wondering what Simon was smoking, it was not the Mary Jane. So it was the
Pall Mall.
Good old-fashioned Pall Mall. Now, do those still contain like all your other additives like nicotine and everything else, or is that like a cleaner tobacco?
What am I drinking?
Royal Classic. What is that? Is that beer?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's because it's 9:30 at night.
Hey, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Well, there was no judging. We're just
yeah. And if you were smoking weed, we're not going to judge because hey, most of the country and most of the world, it's legal anyway.
Legal here.
Yeah, it's legal here.
It's
now, actually, currently here it's not legal as such. There are clinical trials for because people have been protesting it, the prohibition of it. There are clinical trials, but it's only a select few that get to try it. But I don't judge it because a lot of people can self-medicate. A lot of people in pain. A lot of people.
Yeah, it does has some medical uses.
Doctors say that 4 out of 5 people who smoke marijuana enjoy CoCoTALK. So.
If you experience CoCoTALK for more than 4 hours,
yes,
and the other one either fell asleep or is busy.
Yeah, marijuana takes away the pain of CoCoTALk. So
yeah, I was thinking it'd be 100%.
He's like, after this show's over, you need a good joint.
Yeah.
Just remember, if you're a smoker,
Jim Brain, we finally have a solution for you.
Yeah.
Just remember, if you're a smoker, stay out of California. Disneyland is about to make the entire park, the 2 parks and everything, non-smoking. It means if you need to take up a smoke, you got to walk about a half hour before you can find a spot to smoke.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Yep.
Of course, they'll offer you nicotine patches at the gate.
Yeah, but actually, that's part of the thing is they recommend people start bringing their nicotine patches.
There you go.
Or if you're into the other kind of stuff, you could just get some edibles at one of the restaurants on site, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Does that include like the vapes and everything too? So no exhaling of any type of
vape,
fumes.
No nicotine.
Yeah. There you go.
They should sell Mickey-tine patches.
Yeah.
What about Nicmarodotine?
Mickey-tine.
The one thing I wish they'd get rid of Disneyland is those dang bubblers, where they make bubbles. So all these kids walk around with these bubblers, and you're walking through the crowds, and you're getting soap bubbles in your eyes.
It's like you're getting cleaned as you go through.
We can use this on CoCoTALK because that could be our way to wash your mouths out with soap. So.
Yes. All right, we're gonna get back to the news here. We got more things to cover. All right, we're moving back.
That was a little tangent.
Yes. So by the way, Simon's smoking tobacco. For those of you who are curious, so
put that in the show notes.
Yeah, put that in the show notes. Yeah, Pall Mall. Ed Snyder is showing us some pictures of his serial module doohickey here that comes off the side of the sidecar. So this gives you your two RS-232 ports on the Mega Mini MPI. So that's looking pretty good. I think he had a few other pictures of it. I don't know if I'm going the right way. That's what the module looks like without the 3D printed case. So what are these? Just USB ports that plug into this? And then on the other side, so this adapts like your USB to RS-232 adapter?
I believe basically they have an FTDI chip, so you don't have to have a serial RS-232 serial port in your computer. So you just go USB, but then it goes to the UART. And
okay, so basically you plug a so this adapter is the USB serial adapter. So you plug a generic USB cable in here to your PC, and then this feeds it like it was the serial port.
That's what I understand. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's what I understood too.
Okay, that's pretty cool, right? And that's what it's going to look like on the side of the MPI. So this is I guess an optional module if you want the serial port. So the serial ports are technically built into it, but this is an adapter that would let you do it over USB. If not, you would have to get a USB to serial adapter. Okay.
Correct.
Does that work also to having a mouse plugged into it?
No.
No. Well,
actually, is he using just 16550s, or did he have a 6551 in there too? I can't remember.
No, honestly, I don't. I can't tell by looking at these pictures.
I think they're 16550s.
Okay, because if you had a 6551, there is a driver for Nitrous 9 that does run Microsoft and Logitech serial mice through the serial port. So.
Yeah, well, you'd have to have basically a 232 Max 232 instead of that, because as far as I know, the internally it's just TTL, and then that just jumps it to USB versus.
Oh, okay.
You can make something
the actual RS-232.
Where's David Ladd when we need him? USB, TTL, RS-232.
Be nice.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So our good friend of the show, Brian Palmer, the Bruiser, started showing that he's working on some assembly code with some assistance from our very own Simon Jonason. So it started off looking like he had a diamond. Now he's got what looks like a spaceship. And so he is living the dream, and he's doing some stuff in assembly. So that looks pretty cool. I like it. And so there you have it there. Anything you want to share with us, Simon, or what you've been doing with him to help him or anything like that? Or is that just kind of...
Oh, just basically because Brian was fuffing about. He was piddling about trying to hack his infamous 210 scan line mode, which wasn't implemented on the GameON. GameON, gimme. I can't pronounce the bloody word. For me, it's just GameON.
In France, it's Le Game.
Yeah, something like that. What he basically done was had like a 200 and 225, and he was bashing registers here and there, and he actually got a pretty stable 210 scan line overscan. But you can go much further beyond that. It's just a question of timing. It's a question of PIA and the GameON gimme, because they both have their own interrupts and whatever. One on one edge, one on the other. One is programmable, one isn't. But yeah, so he was like, well, I can't get this to work, I can't get that to work, I can't get that to work. So, all right, well, tell me what you want to do. And he's like, I want to do graphics. All right, so I'm going to show you how basically you're going to set up the game for a given mode, and I'm going to explain to you how the nibbles on the bytes work with the 16 colors, and we're going to plot something on the screen. And that's basically where it is. I mean, I take anybody at any level at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, it looks cool. And so you've helped out a lot of people. You've helped Paul Thayer with some projects. You've helped Lee Patterson. So, yeah. So Simon's there to lend a hand if you've got some assembly questions. So very cool. Neat to see. Neat to see somebody doing something. Here, this was kind of cool, too. So for those of you guys not aware, so Carlos Camacho from the Color Computer Store, he's been working on some reproduction RAM badges. He's got some for the Coco 1 model. He's got some of the wide bar-shaped ones for the Coco 2 and 3. And so this is a 64K RAM badge with like the metal flake, metal foil background with the clear kind of plastic bubble on top of that. And it looks pretty cool. So this was Mo Cool posting this on Facebook saying thank you,
that
Carlos
never existed
Camacho.
from Tandy either, so that's...
Oh, Tandy never had a 60. Just like they never had a 512K Coco badge either, right?
Right.
Yeah, they went to 32K, and that was the max the badges.
Yeah. So that's cool. Carlos has been working on that. Hopefully he'll be at CoCoFEST, and I'll grab some from him in person. This one I like. Brian Weasler says, I killed 2 birds with 1 stone. I added a real-time clock and a voice synthesizer to my Coco with this Radio Shack talking watch. And so it's got a real-time clock. All right, and it's got a voice chip. So what else? What else do we need? Oh, he's got a video here. Let's see what this is all about.
Wow.
There you go. It's a talking real-time clock.
Sadly, that's actually got better speech quality than the speech sound pack does.
Yeah, yeah. So eat your heart out, Ed Snyder. So
can it do 3 voice music though?
3 voice music. Well, it's got 1 voice. It's got the clock voice, right? So.
Yeah, it was kind of a fun one there. It plows through batteries though.
Oh yeah.
I put a new battery in it, and it's about dead already a week later.
Remember the LED watches or the LED watches? You had to push the button to see the time if you kept it down.
Oh, the red numbers that had like under a magnifying glass. Yeah, that reminds me of the old like Texas Instruments calculators with those red digits that look like they're under like these little magnification bubbles to make them look bigger and stuff. Yeah.
It kind of pulsate.
Yeah. So there we go. Yeah, there's got to be a way to interface this. There's got to be some type of way to hook this up to the Bitbanger where you can...
maybe Ed Snyder's serial port thing there. I don't know.
Now, another one. This is from Carlos Camacho himself. I don't remember seeing this product, but this was called the ColorMate, the color computer's better half. And what it looked like was kind of a hacked DOS that gave you this kind of graphics mode font. So it's got like a 24 lines of text. I forgot what all the details were on this. It's
another CPM card. It adds a Z80 and it came with CPM 3.2. So we reviewed a different hardware model from another manufacturer a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a month or 2 ago.
Okay. Unleash the power of the color computer. It expands any standard Coco with 16K and floppy disk to allow operations of S-DOS, a fast, time-proven operating system and powerful programming developer. With the basic compiler, S-DOS handles floppies and optional Winchester disks. Transparency, you can very fast code, long file names, true subroutine, and powerful disk I/O. So it sounds like, I've never heard of S-DOS. I'm not familiar with this product, but it looks like you plug your standard disk controller into it, and it extended disk extender color basic and gave you a better screen. So this is basically a P-mode 4 graphics screen. This is not really like an 80 column card or any type of enhanced VDG, right? This is using the built-in Coco graphics, I'm assuming?
Yes, it is.
By looking at it. So 24 lines by 42 columns. So you got 42 across by 24 up and down in some type of S-DOS, which I've never heard of. Anybody hear of S-DOS before?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. I actually have a copy of it.
Oh, yeah. And Paul Fiscarelli was out there earlier. Hey, Paul Fiscarelli. How are you? Yo. Tim Franklin. Terry Steggy had to go. Sorry to get to say goodbye to you, Terry. So thanks for being here, Terry. So yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. We're seeing some pictures of these products that probably weren't very well, circulated. So these are kind of like some hidden gems if you ever run into them out in the wild. Curtis might be looking for something now. David O'Connor, what do we got, hon? Let's put up Curtis on the big screen here. There it is, S-DOS. Now, would that work without their hardware port? Could you just run S-DOS on a Coco and get those?
Yeah,
thoughts?
The hardware port added. Didn't it add a Z80 if I remember? Did it say that in the ad?
That doesn't really say. Okay, it says, does anyone own ColorMate? It provided 64K to machines with 16K, had RS-232 port, 42 columns of text, a basic compiler, and more. Would be interesting to see what the inside looks like. Also was SD Basic Compiler released separately. So it actually added RAM. So it had a RAM upgrade. So if you had 16K, it would. But look how wide this frickin' thing is, man. This is like as big as a multi-pack. So it plugged in. There's your display, and here's the little readout here, right? So ColorMate is $495. Includes a 400-page documentation. Radio Shack floppy controller and floppy drives are not included. Word processing encounter and Winchester disk drives are available. What the hell is a Winchester disk drive? What the hell was that? That sounds like a freaking rifle.
You should know that.
Was that the old Western Digital?
Well, no. IBM when IBM first introduced their hard drives, they gave it model number 3030.
Okay.
And so people said, "Oh, like the Winchester." That's the story I've heard.
Okay.
Well, also the mechanism in there also kind of cocked the drive too. So that's the engineers also kind of rev that up.
Interesting. So that just meant hard drive.
Yes, hard drive. Okay. Rotating platters. Yep.
A style of hard drive.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So ancient computer history 101.
Okay. Now, David O'Connor, again, not here today, suffering from a migraine from listening to last week's show. But he's got a picture of him and his friend. So he says, 5 CLS 10 print. As Ron requested, here's a photo of me at my Coco. Print sometime in the early 80s. Print with one of my best friends, Trevor Smith. A strings equals I still have this Coco. I've also included a couple of new photos from a recent episode of CoCoTALK Live, where it's sitting on top of my Sony broadcast monitor here, and here's the Coco VGA. And now it has a Coco VGA. So here's a picture of David. I'm assuming that's young David there. And that's his friend, Trevor. There's his Coco. What is that, Sea Dragon? I'm not sure what game he's playing there. He's got something going on. I see he's got a keyboard back then, too. Look at that. He's always had a keyboard handy, huh? So there's the Coco. There's that same Coco running that, but now it's running off of a Mega Mini MPI with Coco VGA. So that same Coco has gotten a little bit of a facelift, a little bit of an upgrade, and here it is again here too, right? So cool stuff, right?
And you can see how well worn it is because you can see on those older Coco ones that the black plastic underneath.
The paint's wearing off, from where the palms are at. So that's pretty cool. Now we'll save this one. This is going to be the giveaway. You guys have to help me pick a giveaway. Another thing David posted was 6309 chips. So we've been discovering all the different music products. Oh, do we have another Coco Cat there? Hey, Coco Cat. So this is one of his music systems that has a Hitachi 6309. So that's kind of cool. All right, so why don't we do this? We got more to cover, but we have to make a decision here right now. We're going to give away a speech and sound pack. All right, and I posted this in Facebook saying if you guys want one, write me a reason why you should get one, and we're gonna decide on the air live. This has never been done before in any live color computer podcast, to my knowledge. I don't think any other live color computer talk show has ever given away a speech sound pack, and if they have, well, it was still my idea. All right, so. Here are the entries, and let's look at the stories here. So the first response came to us from Stephen Cambian, and Stephen says, when I was a kid, I spent a few years off and on trying to learn to build a mobile robot with a spare Coco 2 as its brains. I figured out sensors using the joystick ports and used a speech pack for speech. I figured out converting a Coco 2 to 12 volts. After almost 2 years trying different things, I never did quite figure out the interfacing of the motors. With age comes experience, and now I could do that easily, but I don't have a spare. It would be fun to finally accomplish my goal my 12-year-old self tried and failed at. I happened upon a few methods of controlling DC motors recently, as remembered my past failures and figured a few decades and other electronic experiences may have improved my chances of succeeding at that Coco bot. Okay, so Stephen Cambian wants to make a Coco bot, so a robot controlled by a Coco. That sounds like a good thing to do with speech sound pack. Do we all agree? Coco controlled robot. Okay, so that's one of our options. So now Brian Weasler has responded by saying, I have been thinking about doing was a small-scale home automation project that could go bigger. Using Coco hardware like the light controller, a koala pad, a board I built back in college, and a speech pack. I want to turn on and off various things and have the Coco confirm it was done by saying so. So you could basically say, like, Alexa, turn on the lights, or Coco, turn on the lights, and it would say, the lights are turned on, or something like that. Okay, so voice response, home automation with a Coco. David O'Connor says, as mentioned on a couple of CoCoTALK episodes, I could use one of those to make prank phone calls. Okay, prank phone calls are definitely a worthy use of the speech sound pack. Vincent Tran just says, I don't have enough. My collection is not filled to the top, so this would help me fill to the top of my case. Okay, that's not the best reason. Chad Edward, that's Nick's neighbor, says, I need to win this so I can resell it on eBay and use that money to put a sizable deposit on a nice house. All right. Mike Guzzi, I would love to be able to play some of the games that were full of sound and speech again. I have a stack of sound chips. I need a way of testing them. All right, here's the pictures of them. Okay. Do we have a response? Okay, Robert Moore, I desperately want one so I can make it say boobs. Okay, so his reasoning here is saying boobs. Okay, that's definitely got to be a contender. So far we've got home automation, CoCoBot, saying boobs are some good reasons, right? What else? And then here's Andrew John Bodner. Says, reason number one, obviously, so I can now own all of the cool Coco stuff that my parents couldn't afford to buy when I was a kid. Reason number two is to share a bit of history with my nephew and niece. Hopefully a bit of history like this can give them a sense of appreciating how far things have come. All right, so we're gonna leave it to like maybe 4 options here. So let me create a quick little notepad here so I don't lose track of who things are, and you guys are going to help me vote. Okay.
Refresh. I threw in one last minute.
No, you must be present to win. All right. So entry number 1 is from Stephen Cambian, and he wants to make a Coco controlled robot. Okay, so that's entry number 1. Entry number 2, Brian Weasler. And then we'll put these up on the screen. He wants to do home automation with voice response. All right, okay. David O'Connor. David O'Connor wants to do prank phone calls. That's entry number 3.
Is your refrigerator running?
Yeah.
He wanted to do prank phone calls to congressmen,
to politicians. Yes. Yeah, which is
just make the cause even more worthwhile.
All right, so that adds a little weight to it, right?
What is Prince Albert in a can anyway?
All right, so
this is what you're expecting to get.
Entry number 4, we have Robert Moore. Robert Moore, make it say boobs. I mean, he's just being honest. You got to appreciate the honesty. Okay, and then Andrew. So we have a 5th entry. We have Andrew Bodner, share history with niece and nephew. And who else do we have? Now we have Nick Marotta. Nick Marotta says, my first accessory. Okay. All right, so what I need right now is, I'm going to put this on the screen where everybody else can see it. I'm not sure how we're going to count the votes here, but I got my live chat open too. Okay, so we have 6 entries. So I guess what we need to do, what should we do here? How can we get people to vote? Do we just have people type in a number 1 through 6 in chat, and then we'll count up the entries? Does that seem fair enough?
In a hat and shake the hat and pull out a number.
Do we want to pick one at random, or do we want to have people vote?
Program to do that, All
right. How about we do this? How about we start with the panel? Let's have a panel discussion based on the people in the panel, and obviously, if a panel member is one of the possible entries, your opinion does not carry any weight here. So Nick Marotta is not allowed to chime in on why Nick Marotta should win.
No, I have another. I have one. I have a favorite.
Okay, so panel discussion: Coco controlled robot, home automation, voice response, prank phone calls to politicians, make it say boobs, share history, my first accessory. What do you guys think, panel?
I think Cambrian, because it sounds like one of the layers in the earth. Precambrian period.
Okay.
Prank calls to politicians. That'd be good.
Prank calls of politicians. Okay.
Yeah, I like number 3.
I'm a sucker for.
Go ahead, Nick.
I'm a sucker for the family connection, so I gotta go with number 5.
Okay, so we got 1 vote for number 1. We got 2 votes for number 3. God damn it.
I'm thinking about his poor niece and nephew who need this in their lives.
And then
Votes
we have
tabulated by the firm of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe.
Okay. All right. We have another vote for Terry Steig for the robot. So that's 2. So live chat, go ahead and chime in too, and I'll just keep updating the counts here. Okay,
And
Tim Franklin.
I'm torn between 2, so I'm still trying to decide which of the 2 I want to.
I'm going to go ahead and vote for number 3 because just the politicians, you know.
Okay, another vote for 3.
I'll do number 3 as well.
Okay, so that's 4 votes for number 3.
I'm torn between 2 of them also.
I got 2 votes for history, sharing history.
I think I'll go with number 5 too. That was one of my 2, but yeah, I think I'll go for that too.
Okay.
Just tell me 6 was one of your 2, even if it's not. Just to make me feel better.
Can I be a Democrat and vote twice?
No.
Vote early, vote often.
So far, the politicians got the most votes, although Boobs got a vote.
I'll go for number 5.
Another vote for number 5. Okay, that's history. So now we have a tie. Okay.
So the least amount of votes wins.
Okay, and just anybody out there in the live, who's viewing live, we need a tiebreaker here at least now too.
Matthew says use strawpoll.me.
Yeah, that's just more work. We're already here. I've already got all the typing done. We're
James
gonna
Jones said history. Did you?
Yeah, I already counted James's vote. Okay.
F equals I to 5.
Tim Franklin says Boobs needs 2 votes just to make it correct.
That wouldn't be on there if we had women on here.
All right, so we got 2 votes for Boobs. All right. It's sadly Boobs has gotten as many votes as a robot has. So home automation has not got any votes.
Could be a Fembot. It could combine the 2, you know.
That's true.
Actually, that would have been my other choice, was the Coco robot.
Yeah, that was my other choice too.
Number 6.
Okay, viewing audience, last chance to vote here. We need the tie-breaking vote here, anyways, between history and the robot. And if not, if we don't have a tiebreaker, then I'm just going to vote for history, just because the shipping's going to be less since I got to pay to ship it.
Well, didn't you say you got 3 cartridges?
Yeah, one of them doesn't work.
Well, there's 2.
One of them's going to the auction. So,
Just send Nick Marotta the one that doesn't work.
Yeah, and a link to buy some deoxit.
I would show for display purposes.
Yeah, we'll send you the link to get some deoxit.
That would be a nice project for you there, Nick.
Yeah, could be. Restoration. You can make a video on that. All right, we need some more voting. We need some more of the viewing audience to vote here. I need one more vote somewhere, either to help me with the tie. Okay, we have Paul Fiscarelli just voted on the robot. Okay, so that's 3 votes for the robot.
Now I'm hurt.
Okay.
The person that wins it should share something on Facebook.
Vote.
What's that, Simon? Simon, did you already vote?
Matthew votes for pranks.
Okay.
Doesn't Nick Marotta get 3 votes automatically? Nick Marotta.
Throw me a freaking bone.
Stevie, I will give this away.
Okay, so Simon's going to give one away too.
Because you've got one that doesn't work, right? And you're torn between 2 things. I'll give it away because I hate it.
Okay, so you might be close.
Simon doesn't want the damn thing.
You might be closer
and
to.
Simon's the winner. You get a free one.
Yeah. So are you closer to Australia than I am, Simon? So maybe you can mail yours to David.
Yes, I definitely I can do that. I can do that. I know it works. The connectors are not massively good because of age, but it does work.
Okay.
Should be cleaned, probably.
All right, so we have a tie. David O'Connor to make prank phone calls. That's going to be shipped out by Simon Jonason. And then Andrew Bodner sharing history with his niece and nephew. So that's the winner. I will send one out to Andrew. So Andrew, you can send me a personal message on Facebook or whatever with your mailing information. So history has been made. Yay. We've done our first giveaway on CoCoTALK. Very much. All right. Okay. So the news segment is running long. How about we take another commercial break, and we'll be back with more news. And congratulations, Andrew, on winning that. Excellent, excellent stuff here.
Hey, have you got your Coco 3 yet? Hi, this is Rick Adams, author of Temple of Ram and Shanghai, and you've tuned into CoCoTALK, the nation's leading live talk show featuring the Tandy color computer.
What's going on, everybody? Original Gamer Stevie Stroh here, and if you're a fan of vintage computing and retro gaming, then you're going to love our retro swag shop at 8bit256.com. There you will find custom designs by Instagram artist Joel M. Adams. You can get I'm a Coconut, CoCoTALK, and other cool video game images on a t-shirt, coffee mug, or mouse pad. So if you love retro, then head on over to the retro swag shop at 8bit256.com today. Tell them the Original Gamer Stevie Stroh sent you.
Let the Radio Shack TRS-80 put the world of color computing into your home. Instant loading program packs turn any color TV into an exciting game arcade. And there's more. The color computer is an educational aid, a home management tool, and up-to-the-minute electronic information service. The programmable, expandable TRS-80 color computer from $399 only at Radio Shack, the biggest name in little computers.
We now return you to CoCoTALK.
And that's what you have to look forward to right there. That was the speech sound pack telling you that we now return you to CoCoTALK. And we're back with some more news, and somebody posted this one in our, and by the way, let me just show you guys something real quick here too. If you want to post news that we can talk about on the show, we've made it real easy. So if you're not a member of Discord, you should join Discord. And in Discord, we've got a little channel here that's called News, Topics, and Suggestions. And people are literally just throwing in links here of things to do. And this is one place that I will go. And so this is a real quick and easy way for us to crowdsource some news topics to talk about. And so if you throw them in here throughout the week, we will look at them and then hopefully talk about them on next week's show. Anybody can do this. It costs you nothing but your time to post topics. They don't always have to be Coco related. They could just be retro of interest, whatever. And we will try to bring them up. So this is what it looks like. And this is where you can just post a message, post a link, and we'll try to cover it. One of those links that was actually posted by, let me see who posted the link. It was posted by, right here, Kevin Becker posted the link here from Reddit. And it was called, Has Anyone Ever Seen a Home-Built TRS-80 Clone? And so let's see what some of these pictures look like. And so, wow. This, I mean, it looks like a freaking typewriter, doesn't it? Looks like a typewriter keyboard. So, but this is based on a 6809?
Yep, it's
look at this thing.
Coco.
He created a Coco clone. So we got tape, printer, left and right joysticks. We got a fuse here. Out to TV. What is this video? Would that be composite? Composite. That might be an audio out there. That's a reset button, power button, main power. I mean, literally cloned the Coco. That's relatively insane. And look at the inside here. It's got some wire wrapping going on here, huh? Here's our memory that's being jumpered around. That's the Motorola 6809 over here. I recognize that little ceramic thing there. I don't know what the hell these are. What are these, capacitors? These big things here. These are like electrolytic capacitors here.
Yes, those are big electrolytic capacitors.
That's what we call a BAC, a big ass capacitor right there. That looks like a freaking energy drink can. We got some crazy stuff going on here. Yeah, a lot of this looks like a Paul T. Barton project here for all these wires going on here. But yeah. So extended color basic 1.0, and he even has inverse video on it. So he must have copied the ROMs, or did he just pull a ROM out of another chip?
I think from looking at his pictures, he actually just pulled the ROMs out. But okay.
So back in 1980, whenever, 82-ish, somebody made a homemade Coco clone. I mean, Brazil did it. but this was a guy, right? So I think that's pretty cool.
And a better keyboard than the Coco had.
Yeah, it's a funky looking keyboard, but it definitely looks like a full stroke keyboard.
The numeric keypad too.
Yeah. Now our up and down arrow keys. So some of these things have just been remapped, like he's kind of sharpied in. This is your up and down arrow key. Enter is on the left. Clears over here. That looks like that used to be a tab key. Arrow key. So yeah, a little sidecar numeric keypad here too. I wonder if that actually worked.
It probably did. There was an adaptation of the Model 3 keyboard, which also has a numeric keypad for the Coco that actually appeared in Color Computer News. They showed you how to wire that up. So there were several. HGL sold a separate one. There was a separate little add-on.
Right. So it's a cloned Coco. That's a homebrew Facebook project, right? So interesting. So here's a couple of videos now too. This is Brendan Donahue in the Coco VGA project. Curtis threw these out there. So this is the utility that lets you modify the fonts of the Coco VGA project. If you're not familiar with the Coco VGA project, where have you been hiding, right? But what it does is it allows you to, number one, connect your Coco to a VGA monitor. It has enhanced resolution mode, so we've got a 64 column by 32, so you got a double resolution screen, and we've got now customizable character. Not only can you modify the text, but you can also modify the semi-graphics. So there's a lot you can do with it. So here's the first video kind of showing that stuff off. I'm going to fast forward to
3 basic screen
where we can see what it looks like here.
We have the lower portion, which is the repository that shows you the character set that you're working on right now.
And it's like zoomed in pretty nice too.
256 of those characters. We have the editor region, which sort of shows you a zoomed in version of the character that you're working on and lets you modify it.
All right, so we can fast forward here to a little bit. We can see what the symbols look like.
Paste it using V, and then we could say go into the edit.
We got smiley faces, we got bombs, we got like card symbols. You can do all kinds of stuff here, right?
Pad.
Yeah, so you can kind of see the grid here where you can plot out. And what is it? 8 by 12, right? 8 pixels across by 12 pixels up and down?
Yeah.
For each cell? So you can make your border stuff.
Hard because we already had a set of lines that we can load it.
And there he's made larger boxes by making 4 separate characters that you just print beside each other too.
Yeah, yeah. So there's a lot you can do with this, right? And so the whole idea here is that you're not limited to the original characters on the screen. You can change your fonts. You can make like arcade looking fonts. You can change the semi-graphics to not just be those 4 letters of blocks. They can be Space Invaders. They can be explosions, bombs, missiles, whatever you want. And you just plot them out in kind of a bitmap pixel art type thing. And that becomes your new set. And then they will just then display on the Coco VGA.
And you can dynamically load them, so you could have a game that has like an intro or a first level that's using one set, then load a second set for the next level, etc.
All right. And here's a little demo video showing the fonts being changed.
The CCV edit video that shows the editor software. I thought I would go ahead and demonstrate a piece of software that uses BASIC and a couple of simple assembly language routines to load a character set. So in this case, I'll be loading the lower kit, the original lower kit. Set up Coco VGA, draw a character set, draw a demo of the characters, the characters themselves, and so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and run this, and boom, there you go. The character set was uploaded.
Yeah, and that looks pretty good, right? So you've got like your little card symbols here, your hearts, like your Lucky Charms going on up here. You got some trees, some water, this like emoji faces, nicer looking fonts. And then here is our semi-graphics now have been replaced with blocks with like little circles, and then here's the mixed text. And so here's the solid cursor icon now. Instead of it being a solid color, it's got four like kind of round dots in the middle of it there. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'll give one plug to the upper lowercase version of the font you're seeing here is from the original lower kit that Dennis Bathory Kit sold.
Yeah,
the hardware out on back in 82, 83.
Yeah. And it's actually almost overkill. They look so large, like they're, But I mean, I guess there were so many wasted pixels in that 8 by 12 matrix. It's like, why not make them bigger, right? Why do you need so much buffer around the letters?
And it's just
Look at that cursor. It looks kind of funny, huh, with the circles in it?
Get everything using the lower kit character set. Now the same is true actually in 64 column mode. So we'll go ahead and reboot because I happen to have this built into my Coco SDC automatic boot software. So yeah, let's force lowercase. Let's not enable a T1 font, but let's enable a character set. And we'll go ahead and enable the Arcade Invader character set.
That looks cool, right? I like that arcade
So
font.
boom, there we go. This is the automatic config that my Coco SDC is set up with. So anyway,
Looks like
just
half
a
a
very
Space
brief
Invader is the
illustration
cursor
of,
there.
some things that, simple things that can be done with the character set. Anyway, thanks for watching.
Yeah. So that's pretty neat. I mean, the future is bright with the Coco VGA. The cool things you can do with that.
Yeah, there was a question on Facebook, I think either last night or today too. Somebody was asking, should I buy Coco VGA now or should I wait? Because of all the new features coming up. But those are all software upgrades, firmware upgrades on the Coco VGA. The hardware stays the same. So basically, you just run a loader program and transfer the new code to the chip that controls the Coco VGA. So you can buy the hardware now and get all these upgrades every year as Brendan releases them.
Very cool. This is also something Curtis threw out here. So this is a new Coco page. Do you know who was the owner of this page?
Did I mention that in Discord? I can't remember if I did.
I don't remember.
He just started it. It's far from being complete, but he just wanted to get it out there. So he's got a few bits there. Some parts are still just placeholders, but
okay. Super ID interface. So I have 2 meg 6809 Coco 3, composite S video VGA monitor. Okay, 512K Coco 6309 Coco 3 with 86 gimme. All right. So I'm not sure what else we have here, but maybe more to come. Here's
there's
a
some
link.
download projects and stuff like that. But basically, it's a start of a new website devoted to the Coco.
So somebody's got a Coco hobby site. So yeah, we have to figure out who the owner of this is. So yeah,
something I think I can't remember off the top of my head, but
and I'll add it to imacoconut.com too. So here's another video. So this is Port Battles. This is our friend Retro Arcade Gaming. We mentioned him last week. He did a couple of videos where he showed the clones of Popeye and Joust. And so now he's doing one on Dig Dug, and I've got it fast forwarded to the part where they show off
84. A bit of I'm fairly new to the TRS 80 Coco. Don't
Curious
know
to
a
hear
whole lot
what he says about it.
I was a Commodore 64 guy back in the day. So I spent part of last Saturday getting educated on the TRS 80 by some guys who know the platform very well. I'm going to put down in the description a link to the CoCoTALK broadcast, which is done each Saturday afternoon.
I like the artwork.
And also to Curtis Boyle's list of TRS 80 official ports and clones. Those guys are a wealth of information, obviously know the platform very well, and I appreciate them helping me out and bringing this newbie on the Coco up to speed. This clone is decent. It's not great. It lacks background music.
Really selling it, right?
It seems to play a bit slow, specifically
in
the vertical movement. The horizontal movement seems okay. It's just when you're going up and down. It does look and play like Dig Dug, though. If you had a Coco and you wanted to play Dig Dug, this was about your only option.
this is actually written by Dave Dyes before he made Dicom Products too. This is one of his earlier efforts, so he was still kind of learning things.
Oh yeah, look how slow that is moving up and down.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad. But it does look and play like the game, though. I mean, the characters look...
And the Coco 3 double speed poke really helps this game. I just mentioned that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why.
There was one other clone, actually. It was written in BASIC. It was in Color Computer News in 82 or early 83.
Why is the vertical so slow?
Just the way Dave wrote it, I guess. It was... Like I said, this is an early game of his when he was just starting to learn, I think.
Okay.
The reason why the vertical is so slow is the... think about it. You've got 192 scan lines up and down, but you only have 128 dots across. So if you just move 1 and 1,
He's moving 1 pixel at a time.
Yeah, but you're also moving, it's a rectangle pixel.
The Apple II port, again, an Atari.
Okay. Well, there we go. So I don't know if he rated them or anything, but so he's got a lot of systems covered here. So Atari 2600, man, this is a pretty thorough ColecoVision unreleased prototype, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Windows PC on Steam, Xbox 360. So a lot of versions there, and our very own Coco version made it in there.
Is there no reviews like he's done Frogger and Donkey Kong and a few others where he only had about 4 or 5 systems, so he's been expanding as he goes. He almost has to go through some of those, but
hopefully once he figures out that the Coco didn't have a sound chip, then he won't be mentioning the sound for every future game that comes out.
Well, when he gets to the Coco 3 games, though, we do have some with sound. Like he's done Contras before, but if he did that again, that actually does have background.
Right. Well, think about it. The Apple II didn't have a sound chip either, and he's reviewing Apple games, so I'm sure he'd make the same comments about that, saying the sound, and even the original, some of the old PC stuff without the Sound Blaster or AdLib card, it didn't have a sound chip either. Yeah.
Because he reviewed Sailor Man as well, and he said the same thing. There's no sound. And but the game itself was fantastic. Like Sailor Man was one of my favorite games.
Yeah.
But if you're going to nail us for having no sound, then that's going to be repeating the theme.
Well, and here's a video that got posted recently. Sheldon McDonald has been working on a player for the Game Master cartridge where it's a program that was basically running as like a TSR, right? It's going to run in memory. You can feed stuff to it, and it'll play music in the background, and it will still let your basic program run, which is pretty cool. So I'm just kind of fast forwarding to the part where we can hear the music. It's pretty good stuff.
I'm going to make an adjustment, and since I have it connected through the audio jack, all you have to say is audio on. And it's playing. Okay, I still have access to my drive. Okay, and I should be able to still load basic programs in, providing they're not bigger than 18K.
Not bad, right? We got music in the background while basic is still running. So I'm not sure how that is. Sorcery, alchemy, black magic, somehow. He's got it working. IRQs, that could be too, So, but that's pretty interesting, and the video kind of explains how he did. Now, one of the things he did here too is he modified it to have its own external speaker instead of going through the cartridge line for audio. And somebody with a little bit more electronics knowledge than me can maybe clarify my understanding on this. But from what I understand on that sound chip, and this has got nothing to do with the Game Master cartridge design, it's the chip itself. That the minute that chip gets voltage into it, it starts outputting sound. So you would have to specifically go into that chip and say, hey, shut up. Is that a fairly oversimplification of that? Fairly accurate?
I think that's correct. I haven't got one.
And if I'm stating it wrong, it's only because I am not, because I claim ignorance. But I remember somebody saying something like this, that in this particular chip, if you had it in a multi-pack and you wanted to just use like this as somewhere else in your multi-pack, it would actually be putting noise on the audio line that's coming through the cartridge bus, because the chip just does that. You have to tell the chip to stop making noise when it first boots up.
Well, the SM will just make noise. If you put something in the frequency register, it will just keep making noise and keep making noise and keep making noise until you tell it to shut up.
Okay, so it's on by default.
Yeah, the problem with the chip was it's got all these oscillators. Excuse me.
You okay?
Sorry about that. They got all these oscillators in there, and there was nothing on the power up boot to control how things worked. It just let everything run.
Okay. So his solution was to bypass the audio line from the cartridge, run it through a separate audio output jack, feed that into the cassette port, and then using the audio on and audio off command, you could actually control when the sound was being done. And this is really making it easy for somebody to do this in BASIC. So I'm assuming if you understand assembly, you could just send a command to the chip to tell it to shut up. But if you don't understand how to talk to the chip in assembly, he's got it to the point now where you can just use the audio on, audio off command and, kind of toggle the sound that way.
His project definitely makes it basic friendly, which is something that I think it is needed. I mean, we've had some tutorials from Myro and stuff on how to set up pokes and stuff to do it. But for some people, that's not something that their brain can wrap around. But
right,
audio on off, that's pretty darn easy. So
yeah. So an interesting approach to it. What I love about it is he's come up with an idea where I've got this player. You load the player in the background. It's always just running, and you just load more data into the memory space that he's reserved for it, and it'll start playing a new song. So you can, in the background, just do a load a new binary file, and that has changed the song it's going to play. And so you can keep changing songs by loading in a new file.
I think a good purpose or a good subject to use this on is some game with the word aliens in it, written by
really?
Steve guy or something.
You never know. I don't know about I'm not sure about hacking my current cartridge I have to do it, but no, I like the idea.
Well, so, if your dead one gets fixed, you can use that.
Yeah. All right. So good job there, Sheldon, on doing that. We would not be doing you a community service if we weren't going to mention that for a limited time you can get new CoCoFEST 2019 T-shirts. This link is put out on Facebook. And instead of paying $20, you can get one for $13, available in a variety of sizes, shapes, and colors. So I will go ahead and post this link, just because if there are people watching right now saying, hey, I don't want to go all the way out to Facebook to find this link, I'm going to go ahead and post it across the mass media. So unfortunately, you're going to see this thing show up 4 times in the feed. But wherever you're watching this, you got 19 hours left. So if you want to get the Make the Trek CoCoFEST 2019 T-shirt for the next 19 hours, you can get one for only $13. So I feel an obligation to share that with anybody who might be interested in getting one. Now, if we did not have enough adventure arcade game designer packs, AGD packs, the team that's been working on that, Pear and Company, have released pack number 26. With even more titles. So we have the Amethyst Dagger, and we've got the Bean Brothers, and we've got something else, other things. We've got Higgy 2, all kinds of stuff here. So in glorious monochromatic beauty and stuff here. More great games for the arcade game designer thing. Thanks, Pear and Company, for doing all of that. Looking good, looking good. And I think did we talk about part of this last week, but recently. So there's been this Dragon 32 Trash to Treasure. So somebody got one and he's been wanting to restore it. And
yeah, we went through part 1 last week.
Part 1 last week, and last week he did not have the power supply, right?
Well, he had it, but it was broke.
Level up your retro featuring with our power board. And what we found the problem is that we have our 12 and 5 volts present, but our negative 5 volts is missing. That just shows up as a big fat 0. 12, 5 and negative 5 volts are what.
All right, so I'm sure he did something to fix that, and I don't know if I've got copyright concerns here, so I'm going to fast forward. What you're seeing here, boys and girls, is a guy working a soldering iron, and he's doing some electrical stuff. So
I notice he's not doing his hair, which is my mistakes.
He obviously didn't learn from the Curtis Boyle school of
truth.
soldering.
Then we're using the composite out to give us the best possible picture, if indeed we have a picture. The power cable goes into that new power socket. Fingers crossed. Let's press the on button. And it works. We've got that lovely green screen with 1982 by Microsoft there. I hadn't quite realised just how green that green text is. It really is green on green.
We realise it all too well.
That's incredibly satisfying. I'm really surprised, actually.
Greener than green.
It's green. It's as green gets. It's the maximum legal limit of green. So very cool. So he had a power supply that was not doing its job. He fixed it, and it now powers up. So this was a 2-part video.
No, there's going to be a 3rd part. The tail end of this video, he actually starts getting into the discussion. Is the Dragon a clone of the Coco, or is it an offshoot with enough differences to consider it something different? So there's a bit of a discussion there.
Okay.
But he's planning on the 3rd part of actually showing some software and stuff running on it.
Okay, well, what do you guys think? Is it a clone?
The Dragon?
I think I would call it an enhanced clone.
I'd put it down to a clone because apart from basic, it's basically the same thing.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
I think that the Coco,
the Motorola reference.
Yep, that's it. They're both the Coco and the Dragon are a clone of the Motorola reference design.
It just went a little
For
bit
sure,
different direction.
for sure. The Dragon added this Centronics port.
Yep.
It didn't have.
And a better keyboard.
And the 64 had an actual serial port with a 6551.
Yeah.
See, I watched a documentary on the Dragon just this week, and they said that they added those things to avoid problems with Tandy. That way they could say it's an enhancement, not a clone or not.
So here's my own personal definition of a clone. Like the Tandy 1000. The Tandy 1000 was a clone of the PC, and they were going after the market to run IBM compatible software. They wanted to run the software. They were trying to steal business away from IBM, from Big Blue, right? And they're trying to cash in on that.
PC
and so
Junior, actually.
Yeah.
PC
so
Junior,
well, PC Junior was a kind of fringe benefit, but they were calling it a PC compatible, right? So they were intentionally cloning another system for compatibility reasons. I don't think the Dragon was going after the Coco market because they didn't try to make it run Coco. It happened to run it for the most part, but I don't think this was a competitive thing. It was more of, like you guys were mentioning, so the Coco is based on the Motorola reference model. The reference model basically said, here's the chip, here's the VDG, here's how we suggest somebody can make this computer, and Tandy didn't really stray from that design at all. They just said, oh, if this is what Motorola wants, this is what we'll do. And they kind of did it, where Dragon says, we'll take this same design and we're just going to change it up a bit. We won't put a crappy keyboard on there, and we're going to add a few things. But when you start off with the same reference design, you start off on the same core set of chips. That like you say, it's a clone of Motorola. So I don't look at it as a clone as like, hey, we're trying to cut into this business. I just think, hey, this is a product that Motorola says we can make. We're going to make it. We're in a whole nother country. It's similar, but I don't think there was any malintent. In my opinion, I don't know. So.
Let's talk about Brazilian clubs.
Somebody's talking and I can't hear him. Maybe it's Mark B. I can hardly hear you, Mark.
Yeah, it was just Dragon's implementation of that reference. When you look at video cards today, the most of them are on the market are just clones of the, NVIDIA or ATI's reference design with change up heat sinks or fans and things like that.
I put a link to the video in the Zoom chat for the documentary by Nostalgia Nerd, which talks about all this, including Tandy wanting to get involved with the Dragon at some point to get into the UK market.
Who wrote the basic interpreter?
Microsoft.
It was Microsoft.
It's Microsoft Basic. Yeah.
Let's talk about the Brazilian clones.
The same basic. Is it? It's the same basic as the cut.
It is mostly the same.
The disc basic is definitely different because it handled 40-track discs and some other things too. So.
Okay, we got some heavy breathing going on here.
The disc layout's different too on the Dragon discs.
Yeah,
and Motorola was happy to work with them.
From what I understand, if you were to take a Coco Basic program and save it as ASCII, where it's not tokenized, you could load it on a Dragon. It would probably run 99 or 100% compatible. So I think the language itself is mostly compatible, but the tokenization is different.
Yeah, so it is tokenized differently, but the ASCII gets around that.
Yeah.
Also, you can't do direct calls in the ROM. I learned all this stuff from Steve Bamford because I asked him. Also, you can't do direct calls in the ROM because they actually reorganize the BASIC. I mean, they're different locations.
Yeah, and the keyboard is mapped differently on the PIA too. Yeah. So if you're trying to read keyboard, most of the keys don't match. The joysticks, on the other hand, work perfectly fine both changes.
But the keyboard are just a different table. You just have a different lookup table, so you can go from one to the other. It's very, very straightforward.
And the disk controller is not Halt NMI. It's wired off of FIRQ instead.
And the DOS is completely different too. The directory track is, I think, at the far
inside.
I
think. Yeah.
I thought it was the far
What is
inside.
the timeline?
Yeah.
What's the timeline? What Ron Delvo's asking the timeline of the Dragon.
Who came out first?
Coco came out first.
The Coco.
Right. So, doesn't that say it?
Well, the reference design came out before the Coco.
Right. Well, if you think about it, the video text came out before the Coco too. So, but yeah, the reference design was made by Motorola, and that was not like proprietary information. This was basically Motorola saying, here's some plans, because in order for you guys to make these plans, you got to buy the chips from us. So it was very self-serving for them to throw that out there in the public, saying anybody who wants to make a computer using our chips, here's a map on how to do it. Here's the blueprint on how to design a computer using all the chips that conveniently we manufacture and we sell. So buy this design from us, and we'll sell you the stuff to make the computer.
Even the original IBM was that way.
Yeah, the original IBM was.
Yeah. It was a reference design.
Yeah, that was one of their biggest mistakes, they said.
The only thing on the IBM that wasn't a reference design was the BIOS.
Right.
Yep, everything else was off the shelf.
They underestimated how successful personal computers would be.
That too.
They were still thinking that their mainframes were their main business, and the PC was just a little offshoot. And
well, yeah, so there were a couple of the problems. I had my in-laws both actually work for IBM, and they were working on the DOS project and stuff, and they were basically saying, well, number one, IBM, again, they're when you sell a mainframe and you sell a really expensive computer, there's a lot of profit just in the hardware side of that, not to mention the support side of that. So that their idea was, why should we sell a $1,000 box when we can sell $1 million box? If we sell $10 million boxes, we're making more profit than selling 10 million, whatever the numbers are. So that was one problem. The other problem too is internally the big iron were trying to sabotage the small machines because they didn't understand it. So there was a lot of internal things going on where they were not wanting to support things and sabotaging things to not make it successful.
That seemed to be common in the industry back then because Apple had the same problem between the Apple II and the Mac.
Yeah. And another problem that I think the fatal problem that IBM did was to license DOS from Microsoft, but not have it be an exclusive license because there was PC DOS and there was MS DOS. And the operating system at the end of the day is what people wanted. They wanted something that would run DOS and run DOS-based applications. And by not having that exclusive license on the operating system, that was a huge...
That's the thing is Microsoft did not do exclusive license. Look at all the people that they licensed BASIC to.
Yeah.
Later on, we actually had DR DOS as well. I don't know if you remember that.
DR DOS?
Digital Research?
Digital Research DOS, yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. DOS, as we call it.
That was available. That was available when the PC came out as well as the USC piece.
Yeah, Dr. DOS was actually a lot better than MS DOS regarding EMM, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now, if you guys want an interesting movie to watch about all this stuff with Microsoft and what have you, is the Pirates of Silicon Valley. Well, it's a little dramatization.
Mm-hmm.
It really gets in there about the fact that, Microsoft actually in the beginning was giving away the rights to DOS to CPM. IBM came to them about the operating system, and they said, go see CPM. And the guys got scared and wouldn't talk to IBM over at CPM, Digital Research. And so they came back to Microsoft. Microsoft quickly bought an OS, modified it, and licensed it to IBM. Otherwise, CPM would have been the operating system for the IBM computer.
Wow.
Was CPM mostly Z80 based, Steve?
And 80, 86, it ran on both.
Yeah. And the thing, too, is it's now considered one of the stupidest decisions made in the computer industry, and that was by CPM. It is actually studied in business schools now. What happened?
It's right up there with the Osborne, pre-announcing the Osborne 2.
Exactly.
Stupidest decisions to not use CPM, is that what you're saying?
Well, stupidest decision not to talk to IBM.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
They dropped a special agreement in front of them says that anything that they talk about, IBM owns. Well, what you do is you don't talk about anything to IBM that you don't want them to own. So if they talk about a technology that's in CPM, IBM owns it according to that agreement. Well, you don't talk about it. It's simple as that. But they didn't understand it. They were scared that they were going to effectively give IBM CPM by talking to them about it.
Yeah, intellectual property scarce, right?
Yeah.
Back in the day, I worked for a company in Brooklyn, one of the first companies other than Radio Shack that I worked for, that sold the Columbia clones. the Columbia was one of the first IBM PC clones. And the Columbia came with, you could either get MS-DOS, which was subsidized. It was much cheaper than buying CPM86, or as Mark said, US CDP system was also available. There were, and there was a PIC eventually came out for it. It's like a mainframe-like operating system. There were a few different operating systems, but the whole point was to push people towards MS-DOS on the clone, you know, and IBM did the same thing with the PC. They made PC-DOS much less expensive than CPM86. And the whole story about why Digital Research didn't write the DOS for the PC has many different legends. And with Gary Kildall being dead, it's really kind of hard to get the real story. But one of the stories is that when IBM came to Digital Research, he was not there. He was
in a plane or something, wasn't he?
I heard he was out golfing, but, you know, could have been a whole bunch of different things. And Digital Research didn't want to sign the standard IBM agreements, the non-disclosure agreements and whatnot. And Microsoft didn't care because they bought or licensed the first version of PC-DOS from another company.
Yeah, Seattle Computer Systems.
Yep. And Seattle still has the rights to sell MS-DOS as long as they sell you a piece of hardware with it. So
they had their own computers.
Or well, they had their own 8086 computer back then. Yeah, it was based on an S100 board.
So I can buy a brand new MS-DOS system today.
Yeah, there are companies out there still making PC clones.
Nice. I can't wait.
Yes. I mean, there's a guy making a total reproduction of the IBM PC logic board. And if I had the $300, I'd buy the kit and build it.
That's kind of like an Apple I clone at this point, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, at least the saving value I would say about this is there's a lot of really cool games that ran on DOS. And so for playing games, there's, you know, a DOS-based machine would still have some value in my opinion. But a lot of that can be done in DOS box, so it can be emulated pretty well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So going back to your earlier discussion about the visions of a company infighting with each other.
Yeah.
We all know that with Tandy because the PC division, the Tandy 1000s and up, were always fighting with the Coco. They didn't want the Coco 3 to be better than a Tandy 1000. So the Coco 3 could have been better, but it was purposely throttled.
If it wasn't for the MC10. It's like the line of Scooby-Doo. We would have got away with it if it wasn't for those meddling kids.
In the MC10 development department.
Yeah, because the MC11 project would have really put the Coco 3 out of business. So.
Well, it's just like Rampage got another year for the Coco. It was like, they were setting up showing the Tandy 1000 version of Rampage and the Coco version of Rampage, and the guys from the Tandy 1000 group kept on, look how much better. The colors are right. They're exactly the way they are in the arcade. It plays so much better like that. And then Mark Siegel goes, you do realize you're pointing to the Coco when you're talking about that.
Mm-hmm. So has there anything else newsworthy that we should mention before we wrap up the news segment? We've covered a lot of news. We've had some good discussions here, talking about all kinds of stuff. We got into basically PC talk and DOS talk on top of everything else.
Did you talk about that post about that young man whose father had cloned a Coco?
Yeah, we did. We did. That was in episode 104. You can catch it in the replay.
I was trying to find the original CPM disc for the C128, but I obviously have to look a bit further.
Okay.
I have it.
I have some around here.
Hey, Mark. Oh, I noticed you've sounded very AM today. Are you on a different headset? Are you doing Bluetooth for your microphone now or something?
Nope, same mic.
Maybe you're having a bandwidth challenge, but you've been very AM radio the entire show.
Sounds very gritty.
Very gritty. Yeah.
Is
like
approach of CoCoFEST, is that newsworthy?
Yeah, that's going to be what we're going to talk about after the next break. I wanted to see if we're done with the news before we get into events.
Oh, we'll just tease that segment.
We're going to tease that little CoCoFEST tease. So,
Jim Brain's been putting in a bit of history about the Gary Kildall and stuff there in the chat too.
Okay, let's see what Mr. Brain has to say here. If we go back, so Jim Brain says in 1980, IBM was out looking for an operating system for its upcoming PC. The legend is that Kildall, is that his name? Kildall?
Kildall. Yeah.
Kildall.
He used to be a co-host on the Computer Chronicles.
Okay, missed a meeting of IBM because he was out flying one of his planes. He could never live down that legend. It wasn't entirely true. He was flying, yes, but he showed up only a little late. Then he talked all day and through the night on a flight with the IBM representative back to their office in Florida. The sticking point, IBM wanted to pay a flat $200,000 license fee to get a royalty-free license in perpetuity. Kindle wanted more. Did you talk about that small event that's happening 2 weeks from today? Paul Fiscarelli wants to know. It is a relatively small event, yes. So we will talk about that next. Okay. All right. So have we wrapped up the news?
I think so.
There's a new version of Coco Pie.
Oh, that's right. That is out there. Oh, you know what else? There was more news. Ron Klein also posted some pictures from an event he was at last week. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and let's take a commercial break, and then we'll come back and we'll look at some stuff that Ron Klein posted because you just reminded me of that with the Coco Pie. All right. So the commercial break we're going to do here is going to be, how about a little, in honor of our friend Nick Marotta, how about a little bit of Coco Dew here on our commercial break here.
Hi there, this is Mark Overholzer, and you're watching CoCoTALK, the world's leading weekly talk show where you can join in. Hey, come watch us and see what's happening in the world of Coco.
CoCoTALK is brought to you in part by Placeblex Dietary Supplement. Placeblex. We think it works, so will you.
What's going on, everybody? Stevie Stroh, and I want to say thank you for continuing to watch and listen to CoCoTALK. We love doing this show. We think we've put together a pretty good show for you, but this show could be better with your help. So if you would like to send a feedback, a comment, a suggestion, a show topic, or maybe even your own little segment or bumper, then send it to us via email to cocotalk@cocotalk.live. This show would be nothing without you. Love to hear from you.
Coco de c'est le coq champion, des micros il donne le pion. Pour le jeu il est pas bavard, les études c'est pas bizarre. L'expansion il adore ça, les commandes tu vas voir ça. Notre Coco est bon bonhomme, pour tes coups c'est bien serviable. Coco de Radio Shack, ton affaire est dans le sac.
Un ordinateur couleur qui a de la personnalité. Le Coco 2 de Radio Shack. On solde pour Noël à partir de 149,95.
Coco 2 de Radio Shack, ton affaire est dans le sac. C'est toi et Coco 2.
We now return you to CoCoTALK.
We need somebody with a French ear to transcribe those.
Yeah,
words.
we do. We do need that. All right, so a couple more things in the news, and this is my problem because there was a few things posted in CoCoTALK lobby that I had to go back and find. I look for everything under the news channel, so there was a few things in the lobby that I just happened to remember were there, but they weren't in the news channel, so I missed them. So one of the things, this was sent to us by, and actually this is probably, we'll do that under events. So yeah, let's do that. We're going to do it under events. So why don't we go ahead and switch over now. We're going to play some more Curtis Boyle music here. So let's go ahead and switch to an events view. All right, so Ron Klein posted some photos from the Midwest Gaming Classic that he must have recently attended. So here we can see the Ghostbusters Ecto 1. Ghostbusters Mobile was there. Nice looking stage set up there. And here's the event map. Oh, this is a video. Look at that. People walking by. Yeah, it looks pretty big. Midwest Game. Where did you guys know where this is at? The Midwest Gaming Classic. Pretty big area. Anybody? Anyone?
Not
somewhere.
sure.
Somewhere in the Midwest, I would wager.
Was it Wisconsin or was it in Illinois?
Not sure.
I'm waiting for Jim Brain to answer because he normally goes to it. I think he said earlier.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it looks pretty big. Looks like a pretty big event, pretty well attended. A lot of systems going on here, a lot of CRTs, some light gun stuff going on there. Yeah, look at that back of all those flat panels, huh? Pinball machines, that's cool. Yeah, a lot of pinballs and arcade cabinets there too, right? So exhibit areas. Oh, Commodore PET. There's a wall of Commodore here.
Current location appears to be Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay. Lots of Commodores. Okay, that's an Apple II, right?
Yeah.
That's a little mini Commodore with the built-in screens. There's some Commodores with the custom colored cases, right?
Those are probably the new ones. That was the Commodore SX. I actually own one of those. There's the PET.
Okay, a Dragon's Lair running on what? Is that running on a Commodore too? I don't know what that's running on. Can't tell. Oh, that might be the TI.
TI
99.4A. Yeah, it's a pretty popular port right now. Here's some TI section here. Okay. So we had a Commodore section. Oh, IBM PC Junior, Prince of Persia. That's looking good. I don't know what the hell that thing there is.
Rogue? Is that Rogue? I can't tell.
I don't know what the hell that system is. That's a Mac Classic.
Gosh. Yep.
But why is it looking amber?
It's probably the color one.
Okay. Apple II C's,
actually,
Apple II
from
GS.
left to right, Apple IIe, Apple IIc, and Apple II GS.
Yep. More Commodores. Commodore 64, Commodore 128. There's another TI. Yep. Atari 400. The MC10 of the Atari world.
There's the 800.
Atari 800. Yeah. ST. Atari ST.
Yep.
ColecoVision. And in television, an Aquarius, nice. ZX Sinclair.
Spectrum.
Yeah. Yep. Coco 3 playing Sockmaster's Donkey Kong. Look at that. Looking good. Oh, TRS 80. That's
Model
looking
1.
good there too.
Expansion.
Yeah, there's Donkey Kong. Looking good.
Coco 2.
Yeah, another
Magnavox.
Magnavox.
Isn't it?
Time Bandit. Oh, the Atari ST Time Bandit. Look at that. I've never seen this version before.
Yeah, there's Amiga version, Atari ST version, and DOS versions all. As well as TRS Model 1, 3, and Coco.
Interesting. I don't know what the hell that is. What is that?
Another video game console.
The hell is that?
Yeah, that one I don't know.
Could be Odyssey. Yeah.
Another, I don't know what that is.
Spectra Video?
Yeah, something like that. Interesting looking. Ralph Barr's Brown Box. Is this supposedly the first? This is the first consumer, like Pong type system, right?
He's also the guy that created the Odyssey for Magnavox too.
Yeah.
Yep. The predecessor to the Odyssey. So
yeah.
He actually worked for a military contractor.
Look at this. The size and shape of video game cartridges throughout the years. Interesting. Okay. Is this one that Jim Brain posted a picture saying I made one of these? So Jim Brain had posted a picture similar to this with this green Commodore case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a big show floor. Okay. Speaking of video cards. Right. Look at all these. Yeah, there's lots of stuff, right? Exhibitors galore. Yeah, big event. You got stuff in sealed in collectible cases and stuff. Oh, yeah, like Sega Mega Drive and Genesis cartridges and stuff.
Jim Brain mentioned in chat that it's at the Wisconsin Center. They outgrew the previous location outside of Milwaukee.
Wow. Pokemon stuff. If you guys ever need a Pokemon plush collectibles, now you know where to go. Looks like got
also Jim is saying that green one Commodore. He said he built that exact one. That is the one he built.
Okay, that is his. That's a Jim Brain creation.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. We got a Mac Classic. We've got all kinds of accessories here. Man, tons of stuff, huh? Tons of stuff. So, oh, look, what was this? Was this the Curtis Boyle band up on stage here? Had a real band?
Oh, if it's a real band, it definitely wouldn't have me in it.
Yeah, right. All right, so as you can see here, there's this lots of Bob Ross, right? So,
lots of happy little trees.
Yeah, so this was an event that happened recently, but here's an event that's happening soon. And what are we at now? 2 weeks away from CoCoFEST?
Yep.
We are just about a scant 2 weeks from CoCoFEST. And the question that we all have to ask is...
Hey, you got your Coco 3 yet?
And before we talk about CoCoFEST, how about we play the Make the Trek little preview video thing here, thanks to Da Bruce Moore.
The reading's growing stronger, Captain. Coming from a star system directly ahead.
CoCoFEST, make the trek to the place you belong. Illinois, Heron Point, make the trek. CoCoFEST.
CoCoFEST, May 4th and 5th. 2019 in Lombard, Illinois. Make the trek. Touch the heron.
Fascinating.
Make that trek. Like Michael Jackson said, you got to make that change. For us, we got to make that trek. So if you guys are not familiar with the website to the Glenside Color Computer Club, it's glensideccc.com, glensidecolorcomputerclub.com. Tandylist.com is where you can register if you're going to attend. And let's just see who we have listed as attending right now. The list is pretty long. That's what she said. But this is a long list. It's all on the internets. So Rick Adams, William, some names here I do recognize. Gary Becker, a bunch of Beckers. Neil Blanchard and L. Curtis Boyle and Jim Brain and Bell Brain and Carlos Camacho and Eric Canales, Richard and Brenda Crislip, Brendan Donahue and Morgan Donahue, Paul E. Fiscarelli, Salvador Garcia, Brian Goers, right? Chris Hawks and company. Names I recognize, names I don't recognize. Alan C. Huffman, Simon Jonason, the Madman's going to be there. David W. Ladd of DW Ladd Incorporated. Grant Leedy is going to be there. John W. Linville, Richard Lorbieski, Mark Marlette, John Mark Mobley, and Melanie Mobley, and Jim O'Keefe, and Boise Pete, Tony Pedraza, Linda, Ken Reichard, Henry Reitveld, Brian Schubring. Some of these names are, it's Craig Stewart, not Greg Stewart, right? Craig Stewart's coming from Australia, right? Terry Steen is going to be there, creator of Balloon Fire. Steve Strobridge, Paulie Thayer, Tim Thayer, the Thayer brothers, Jason Timmons, that's the guy from VCF Midwest. Carl Von Winkle is going to be there. Billy Joe Weaver, Randy Weaver, and company. Names are Evan Wright's going to be there. So it says there's 65 attendees and 53 dinners so far. That's what's on the list.
And my name's not on there, but I am attending.
Mark D. Overholzer. Jason Reichard's not on the list?
Yeah, for some reason Ken's on the list, and I know Ken is not attending this year.
Well, listen, they have their priorities and who they would they know who they would prefer to be there. Let's put it that way. So
this is like the recommended list.
What's your name on there then?
This is their wish list.
It's like an all-star list.
It's all-star. I don't see Nick Marotta.
No, Nick Marotta can't make it.
Oh, you mean? I'm so disappointed. I was hoping Nick Marotta was going to be there, and he was going to bring Nick Marotta and the other Nick Marotta.
And at least 3 ukuleles.
So this is the A list, right?
Yeah, we got a B list, a C list, and a D list too. So
you know what? I was at Five Below today, and I saw they have $5 ukuleles. I called that the Nick Marotta section.
I'm sure they're awesome.
Oh.
Nick Marotta won't be there, but his ukulele will be making an appearance.
All right. So if you arrive on time, if you arrive early enough Friday evening, you could set up Friday, but I think they close at midnight. Saturday morning, you can set up at 7 a.m. 8 a.m. you can register if you're not already pre-registered. Show opens at 9. We're going to have a booth tour again. Stephen Hirsch, the author of Mitchtron's Speed Racer, is our keynote speaker at 10:30. That should be interesting. We have a lunch. We have an awards ceremony. I believe we should have an award for the person who traveled all the way from Denmark. So for
kind of narrows your scope of candidates for the award, doesn't it?
Yeah, the award for the most Denmarkish person on site.
Are we going to have an award for the person who brought their brother?
Yeah, could be. That's the Thayer brothers. Could be it. Simon Jonason is going to have us talk on Coco coding. There's going to be an auction. There's going to be a dinner, trivia contest. There's going to be the chit chat and hangout, and then musical jam and sing along. That's all what's in store for Saturday. Sunday, we've got the show opens. Brian, the music man, will play the national anthems, and Boise Pete is going to talk about the call for Coco papers and a lunch and meeting. There's going to be another auction. We're going to shut down and so on. So there is not actually any scheduled speaking things on Sunday. Sunday's the short day, right? Sunday we wrap up around 3 p.m. And impromptu talks and announcements. There might be other things that will come up. So that's kind of the plan right now. Who are the vendors? So Glenside Color Computer Club, Boise Pete, Boyson Technologies, Brian Schubring, Cloud9, the Coco Brothers, Coco Man, and the Wallaby Cable. And the Switcheroo and Coco VGA, the Color Computer Store, Evan Wright, Hawksoft, John W. Linville, Lost Wizard, that's LW, that's our William Astle from, and then Leo Blanchard and Nitrous 9 Ease of Use project. Can I get a sound drop for Ease of Use? Is it here anywhere? Ease of Use. There we go. Rick Adams and Reitveld. Reitveld will be showing off my Coco 3 on a stick, as well as my Coco 3 helmet display. I'll also have a Coco 2 setup with a ROM pack, game, and joystick. I will let CoCoFEST attendees play the game as much as they want at no charge. On Sunday, I will award the Coco 2 and game and joystick to the person with the highest score. So he's giving away a Coco. That's motivation right there.
And I will bring my Mark Overhoser hat since Mark is not able to make it.
Mark is making it.
Oh, he is making? I thought you were making.
I'm just not on the list. No, my girlfriend gets award of the year because she found reasonable tickets.
Oh, awesome! You can bring more of those screwdrivers.
Reasonable
ticket.
So you get
more free screwdrivers.
You got a discount on your CoCoFEST admission, so she got you a better price than the going rate.
No. No.
Actually, they were told to charge him more.
Yeah, apparently Glenside had a deal with Groupon, so if Mark Overholzer got his entrance at a better rate. So
I don't think that was Groupon. I think it was Grey Poupon.
Pardon me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. So on the panel, we know Brian Schubring's going to be there. We know Mark Overholzer. Curtis Boyle, are you still on the fence? Are you off the fence? Are you on the pot?
I'm a bit more over the fence. Some things went right this last week, and if I hear one thing I'm waiting for this next week happens, then I'm for sure going.
So Curtis, we're rooting for you to fall off the fence.
Yeah.
Curtis Boyle.
Somebody push him. Somebody push him.
Curtis Boyle, when you roll your paper, do you roll tobacco or do you roll weed? The audience wants to know. So.
I use knives.
All right. So Simon's got an itchy nose there. Ron Delvaux showing off Mrs. Delvaux, the best half. So Curtis Boyle will potentially be there. Very good, very
Looking
good.
better than it did last week, I will say.
Okay, Nick Marotta. Will you not be attending CoCoFEST again this year? You're muted. You're still muted.
You can just dub in whatever there.
Hello?
Then.
Yes. Are you still planning on not attending this year?
I can't attend.
So that's a yes.
I'm not attending.
That's yes. You will not be there.
Yes, I will.
Maybe I should go buy one of those $5 ukuleles. Just to...
Yes, and yeah, the part of Nick Marotta's ukulele is put in. All right, Brian Weasley, you are going to be there.
Yes, sir. I will be there.
I did not see your name on the Glenside thing. You might want to go to tandylist.com and register. And I would say anybody out there watching or listening.
Yep, I have already registered, and matter of fact, I'm looking at my receipt right now. It's
okay, so then they need to update the website. It's probably not automatically feeding in that. Somebody's got to manually go and update that list. Mark B., you going to be at CoCoFEST?
No, not this year.
Okay. We will. Oh, then you can stream the show for us.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right. So we got a streaming engineer. You and Tom C.
I have a quick question for Brian Shoebring too, since we're having a bit more of an international flair this year than normal. Like I know you have the anthems for the American anthem, the Canadian anthem. Do you have the Australian anthem, and do you have the Denmark anthem?
You're muted, Brian.
Muted.
Testes 1 2. Testes 1 2.
Do you hear me now?
We hear you now.
Yeah. No, I've got about 6 different anthems here, so I'm all covered.
All right.
So you got the 4 for sure we need then?
I don't know. Do we have to play 2 anthems for Simon? Do we need the one for the UK also?
The UK, yep.
You have the new and improved gender-neutral Canadian anthem.
Yes.
Question is, should I wear my kilt to confuse you?
It's not that kind of convention.
Hey, Brian Shoebring. Tim Franklin wants to know: do you know a person named Brad Shoebring?
No relation.
No relation. Okay.
And Simon, for the UK version, we play Anarchy in the UK by the Sex Pistols, right? That's what we're doing.
I am an anarchist.
That'd be good. Yeah, that'd be very good.
And I wanna be anarchy. Yeah, there we go. Excellent. We got to do it. All right. So we know Simon the Madman Jonathan is going to be there. Special guest of honor. Jason Reichert, brother of Ken Reichert, will be there. Will Ken Reichert be there as well, Jason?
No, he will not be there. That list is inaccurate. I'm going to have to contact someone about that.
All right. All right. Ron Delvaux will not be attending this year. I understand Timberman's not going to make it.
He's busy cutting down trees, I heard.
Okay. Nick Marentes. Nick, you should get a ride with your Australian friend Craig Stewart.
Yeah, no,
see if he's got room in the he's got room in the back seat.
or you could just throw Nick in the suitcase or something.
Yeah. Yeah, Al Hartman from Jersey. You gonna be at CoCoFEST?
Yes. No, I made my reservation a year ago, not to attend.
You last year you RSVP'd. No. Okay.
That's planning ahead.
All right.
I would love to go, but just can't swing it.
So, so the good news is too. I just because we weren't sure who was going to make it and who's not going to make it, and Grant Leedy's kind of on the fence too. Hey, Ron Delvaux's back. Ron, you going to make it to CoCoFEST? I think we know the answer to that. That's a no. You're muted. You're shaking your head. I hear things rattling. You're muted. I still hear the rattling. Okay. That's a no, right, Ron?
We'll see.
We'll see. Oh, so that's a maybe. Yeah, he's like shaking his head sideways. Again, I don't know. You got all kinds of gestures going on here. Either he's having a seizure or he just can't make up his mind. Somebody put a freaking belt in his mouth. So.
Oh, I said I was going to bring my MC-10, so maybe that's going to light a fire under him.
Yeah, if I do come, it'll be a surprise, right?
It'll be a surprise, and that would be interesting. It would be nice if the Timberman was there. Yeah, Martin Bryce is pointing out that this is the 420 special, but we've already figured out what Simon Jonathan is smoking is tobacco. So
Pall Mall.
With the children on the package.
Yes, I will be attending CoCoFEST, as I was getting ready to say. So my original plan was I was going to snuggle buddy with Grant, and because he had an extra bed in his room. Grant is not sure if he's going to make it, so I went ahead and I booked a room anyways, just in case, and so we have an extra room too. So for a few of you who are maybe on the fence and might need a room, I'll have a room with an extra bed either way. So if Grant makes it, and I stay with Grant, I've got a whole nother room with 2 beds. If Grant doesn't make it, I've got a spare bed. But either way, we were planning on having an extra bed for somebody who was on the fence making it. So reservations are there. I think John Linville put a couple of messages too saying that they had filled out the blocks. Like they had a block of rooms reserved. That block was booked. They extended the block. I think they've upgraded that block twice on renting rooms. So to get the room at the CoCoFEST rate. Now here's the thing. I don't know if the CoCoFEST rate is necessarily the best rate. Like if you have AAA or something, you might get a better price. But what this does is this, number one, this helps the place, the venue. It knows how many people they're bringing in. So when you say I'm here for CoCoFEST and they can count those numbers, they know that it's worth the while for them to give the stuff to Glenside at whatever price they give it to them as. Like if 100 people show up, then the price per person to rent the hall is cheaper than if 20 people showed up and things like that, right? So anyways, it's helping Glenside in some way. So even though you might save a few dollars by booking it some other way, try to do it the CoCoFest way if you can, just so they get credit.
There's a hard cutoff on the
27th, I believe, right?
On the 27th, yeah.
Yep.
So
by the 27th.
Oh, so Tim Franklin says I could set up a cot in my garage for a fair price. A fair price. It's not going to be an unfair price. So,
how about Brian Schubring's basement there? That might work. No.
You're muted, Brian.
You're muted again, Brian.
If only these sound guys could figure out how to make sound work.
Sorry, I had something else going on.
Yeah.
There's something better going on.
Yeah. So, anywho, so it's looking like we're going to have a good. My prediction is we're going to have 150 people there. And if we don't have it, that's fine. But I'm predicting 150 this year.
What was last year?
We're just around 120. They say 117, but you know what?
117, 118.
Yeah, who rounded up. There were people that kind of came and went. So yeah, we had 120 people there, just for the sake of argument. So I'd like to see 150 there. Just because I'm getting 10% of the door. No, I'm just kidding. Yes.
10% of the watered down Dr. Pepper is what you
Yes,
got.
yes. Oh, yes. That should be the thing.
I know where there's a free bottle of Dr. Pepper diet.
Yeah.
Oh, is David coming?
Yeah,
I think he wants to, and he's hoping to, and then let's just hope that he does.
I hope that he does, because we'll have to. Everyone will have to bring him some Diet Dr. Pepper.
Diet Dr. Pepper. That's it. And the water.
Just inundate him with Diet Dr. Pepper.
Absolutely. All right, so we're coming up on 3 hours. So did we have a quality show today? Did we cover things?
No, but it was good anyway.
Low quality is still a quality.
Have we provided a community service here? Did we talk about news? Did we talk about events? Did we gave away a speech sound pack? All right.
Two of them.
That's right. Simon gave away one too. Yes. So, I don't know.
Congratulations to the winners.
Yes. And also another winner, when we did our C Load M contest and, had to figure out what the software was, that was Ben Drake's. And the original prize was going to just be a copy of Popstar Pilot from the Retro Swag Shop. But it took me like over 2 weeks to finally get around to getting his address put in and shipping it, because I'd just been kind of busy. So since I felt bad, I gave him
$1,000.
Well, I sent him the entire collection, the entire Retro Swag collection. So he's got my 2 Coco gaming DVDs. He's got the very best of CoCoTALK Volume 1 and 2 and Popstar Pilot. So he's getting like a half a dozen different discs in the mail.
And don't forget that Popstar Pilot collection has all the Nicholas Marenti's Coco games up to Popstar Pilot on it too.
Yeah. So, and that's an easy prize. That's a real easy prize for me to send out too. So we could do giveaways of like gaming DVDs and best of CoCoTALK DVDs, because the shipping is very reasonable. So it'd be really easy for us to have more contests and prizes. Speaking of that, one of the things I've been wanting to do for a long time is to have a live kind of trivia contest game show. And we can do it using this app that's called Kahoot. So I can set up the whole quiz online. People can watch online, play online. You can use your smartphone app to buzz in your answers or through a browser. So I put out that request in the CoCoTALK channel. What I'm asking people to do is to send me trivia questions and answers, and not only the right answer, but maybe give me some good, close, wrong answers too. I want to compile a bank of questions and answers. I'd like to have an on-air live trivia contest that we can do on CoCoTALK for a decent price. So maybe the next time I get something cool in the mail, we'll have a decent prize to give away for this trivia contest. So I'm calling all people to help submit questions. We have to do these questions in a private forum where people can't see them all. I need to compile them all. I'd like to get somebody to then help me fact check and verify that we have the right answers as being the right answers, and then we'll, at a future date, we will have that, and that'll be another thing that we've never done before. No other live CoCoTALK show has ever done a live on the air C Load M. We did it first. Often conceived and contrived, but never attempted by any other show. So we've done the on-air C-Load M. We've done a giveaway. We've had Grant Leedy pissing himself on the air. We've had all kinds of stuff. So the things we do on this show, we will go to the ends of the worlds for our audiences. So today we gave away a speech sound cartridge. Tomorrow, a Rondell Vo. We're going to raffle away a Rondell Vo. So.
The game show, we're going to have different.
Separately. Sorry.
That's okay. My fault. With the game show, are we going to have separate categories or anything like that? Or is it just going to be?
Oh, it's just going to be random trivia.
Oh, I was hoping there was going to be a whole Nick Marotta category.
I'll take Nick Marotta for 500, please, Alex.
Famous ukulele players for 500, please. Is it all Coco related stuff?
Yeah, it should be. It should be in the Coco family. All right, so how about we do this? We've got a new and improved Coco outro that I want you guys to hear and see. We're going to play that, and then we'll come back with some parting thoughts and maybe some post credits. However, here we go. Are you guys ready for the new and improved? This is the CoCoTALK song has been just taken to a whole nother level by Bruce Moore with his CoCoTALK is Rockin' the 8-Bit World. So we've got a new outro based on the CoCoTALK is Rockin'. So I hope you enjoy it. I've spent quite a number of hours this morning today putting together lots of content for myself and for future stream engineers. So here you go, folks. The new and improved CoCoTALK is Rockin' outro. This concludes another episode of CoCoTALK, the world's leading live talk show featuring the Tandy color computer. For all things CoCoTALK, visit us on the web at CoCoTALK.live. We'd love to hear from you. Send feedback, suggestions, even segments via email to CoCoTALK@CoCoTALK.live.
CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world, keeping the Tandy flame alive. We may be mocked, but we'll never stop, 'cause CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world.
Consider supporting the show with the purchase of merchandise from our retro swag shop at 8bit256.com. If you'd like to become a patron of the show, click the Patreon link at CoCoTALK.live. CoCoTALK would not exist without the community and its cast and crew and contributors.
CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world, keeping the Tandy flame alive. We may be mocked, but we'll never stop, 'cause CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world.
Thanks go to Curtis Boyle, David Ladd, Mark Overholzer, Grant Leedy, Bruce Moore, Nick Marentes, Rondell Vo, Rick Adams, Jason Reichert, Richard Lorbieski, Jim Brain, Tom C., Rob Inman, Mark Bosley, Brian Joyce, Ken Reichert, David O'Connor, Brian Weasler, Terry Steggy, John Strong, and many more, especially Steve Bjork for his production suggestions. Please help support the Coco community by visiting some of its contributors. The Coco Crew podcast at CoCoCrew.org. Glenside Color Computer Club, host of CoCoFEST at GlensideCCC.com. Retro Innovations at Go4Retro.com. Tandy Assembly at TandyAssembly.com. Voice on Technologies at VOYSONTech.com. Get your own switcheroo and wallaby cable at CocoMan.biz. Cloud9 Technologies at Cloud9Tech.com. The CoCoTALK theme song is copyright 2008 by D. Bruce Moore and Greg Sheeler. Mixed, mastered, and produced by D. Bruce Moore. And let's not forget Nick Marotta.
Wow, that was great.
Name so nice, you gotta print it thrice.
You know what's going to happen is we're going to go back in time and look at vintage CoCoTALK shows because it's all changed.
I know.
Right?
Yeah, and I had to, and trying to squeeze all that in between all the lyric parts was took a lot of just lucky spacing of all that stuff out. But I managed to squeeze it all in.
We don't have to read no more.
Yeah,
we're in Hollywood Squares mode here too. I'd like to thank Nick Marotta for the win.
Thank Nick Marotta for win. I got Mark Bosley to block, please. So
the thing about Nick Marotta is whenever he plays a song on the ukulele, he always does 3 encores.
Get
3
whether you want
encores.
them or not.
Nick Marotta. All right. So
after CoCoFEST, you'll have a lot more pictures to
yeah.
Yeah, we really.
update
If
that.
any regular panel members at CoCoFEST, we need to make that group photo happen this year.
Yeah.
Good idea.
That's part of my plan, is to not be live streaming and not trying to sell merchandise or any of that crap. I'm gonna have a table with the Tandy 1000 set up for people to play Cosmic Aliens, the old and the new version. So it'll just be kind of sitting there. But other than that, I want to enjoy the fest. So
Everyone attending should plan ahead and get a CoCoTALK T-shirt for the group photo.
Yeah.
And where can you get those CoCoTALK T-shirts?
I have no idea.
Only we knew.
If only there was a website that had CoCoTALK. Oh yeah, it is cocoman.biz. Is that it?
No, but you can get others. You can get other nice stuff there.
You can get lots of Australian sounding cables and accoutrements. All right. So excellent, good show, guys. 3 hours. I got to check on the family, probably have dinner. I don't know if you guys are up for an after dark tonight. We can check in later. Discord is the place to do that. Put out your messages in Discord. Let us know who's available, who's ready, who's willing. I don't know.
Where are we going to give the trivia stuff? Discord also?
You'd have to do it in the private channel, like the one that we call our inner circle.
Okay.
That's probably a good place to do it right there for right now, because that's limited. And obviously, anybody on the panel is ineligible of winning the contest. Anybody else, if you're not sure where to send it to me in a private message, and I'll compile it. Maybe I'll make a whole new channel, because we don't have enough channels in Discord. I think that was a discussion topic one time, saying we need more channels.
Right.
Got to have more cowbell.
We need a channel just for channel suggestion.
Yeah. Channel suggestion channel.
No, he's going to make one.
Don't get me started. Don't encourage him, Jason.
To discuss that as well. So.
Yeah. we'll have a channel discussion, grievance channel for those who don't like the channels that have been suggested.
We need a channel search.
A channel search. There we go.
And Nick Marotta, I remember your newbie question for next week. We won't do it this week.
Oh, yes.
Post it in Discord under news topics and suggestions.
Okay.
We'll cover that next week.
That's where I pull things from. The lobby. So the lobby is kind of like.
I thought it was somewhere else, but okay.
Yeah.
I'll be getting my first real Coco. I'll be the Coco newbie on the panel.
Excellent.
Because my memory from 40 years ago is a little vague on some stuff.
So the next show is the last show before Boom.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah,
it will be.
CoCoFEST.
We are in April. We're in April 20th. Yeah. So it's going to be the 27th, and then the next one will be CoCoFEST.
Then may the 4th be with you.
So are we going to do a bunch of stuff about CoCoFEST?
I don't know, but we got heavy breathing on line one.
Somebody's headset is too high.
Yeah.
Pull it down. Down to your
heavy
chin.
breathing on line one.
We should pay $2 a minute for that.
Let's put that caller on hold. And save the heavy breathing for after dark.
99 a minute.
Yes. The 1-900 CoCoTALK.
Talk about scuzzy.
$6.89 a minute.
Yeah, what can we charge for that?
Who knows? All right.
David Ladd would be perfect as the voice.
Creepy David Ladd. Yes. All right. We're going to put this one out of its misery. Thank you guys for being here. Great show. It was great being back in the saddle here, hosting and broadcasting. I am learning a lot from you professional engineers out there. So thank you all.
The show is the highlight of my Saturday afternoons from 2 till 5.
Thank you. What's the low light?
Rest of the week.
Is that the MC10 talk show?
The laundry?
No.
Push the button.
All right.
I was a little slow on the mute button, but vis-a-vis creepy David Ladd, is there any other kind?
Yeah, it's true. That's being redundant, right? All right, we're going to press the button. Frank, thank you for watching. I just want to say in conclusion.
Thank you. Yes, you're too kind, and thank you.
All right, pressing the button in 3. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye,